CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's our time now.
Today, one of the AFC's most intense rivalries is renewed as the Bills meet the Dolphins. 5 games to play, and the Bills probably have to win them all to have a chance at postseason. The Dolphins' game plan, do whatever it takes to spoil it. Now they're ready to get it started.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Pro Player Stadium, you see how this long series stands. The Dolphins a commanding lead. Dolphins won them all in the 70s. Bills were 0 for the 70. Here's Mike Mularkey, who all of a sudden is a man in a very positive focus after an 0-4 start. He's got one good-looking football team, as you'll see. And across the way is a guy that these Dolphin players are really dedicated to, Jim Bates, who stepped in after Dave Wannstedt stepped down. And they want to win them all if they can for Jim Bates to take that interim tag off. You see the temperature. The wind chill in Buffalo has it down in the 20s. Here in Miami, it is 80 degrees at kickoff time. Sunny, cloudy skies. No rain forecast. And a former Syracuse standout, Olindo Mare, who's really an NFL standout, ready to kick it off. And there is Terrence McGee, one of the NFL's best at returning kickoffs. Mare hits the ball deep, and McGee will bring it out. He's quick. Across the 20. Across the 30. He's not done. Race is on. He could go. It's over. There's no flags. The distance looked like 105 yards. The 5th kick return for a touchdown, some of them on punts by the Bills this season. Now the Bills talk, Steve, about starting fast. That's as fast as you can start.
You cannot start any faster. No flags down, and there's no question Mike Mularkey is just like in basketball where your shooter takes a bad shot and you think no, 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 and then go, go, go. McGee brought it from 4 yards deep in his end zone and went virtually untouched the distance. And you want to talk about stress relief on the road, that's exactly what a visiting team needs.
And that, Steve, is the longest kickoff return in Bills history, officially 104 yards. And it's also the longest kickoff return ever allowed by the Dolphins in their history. So the brilliant special teams play under special teams coach Bobby April of the Bills continues. And seconds into this game, they have a 7-0 lead.
When you're on the road, Don, in this game, you come into these games, you're stressed out. I mean, you really know you got to play well. You know you got to do something special. And obviously there you see the long punt return that puts the Buffalo Bills in some pretty lofty company. It's been a long time since somebody's done what the Bills have done this year. There's a big group of Bills fans up there, but as a fan, you're sitting on the sidelines, Don. You're hoping the game's going well, and all of a sudden that happens, and everybody just goes, shh, and it's a huge relief.
Well, you always look for flags because there's so many. You can't practice these full-speed collision courses. You lose players, and here it is again, Steve.
Well, you can see how deep he was, and that's what comes from confidence. This team has been outstanding on returns all year. Early in the year, you leave that in the end zone. There's no question about it. Nobody thinks twice about it. But when you're leading the league in returns, you bring it out. And how good can you block that? He was absolutely unthreatened until he got out to midfield, and it was a foot race.
So Drew Bledsoe in the offense never had to come on the field to take a 7-0 lead. McGee has been sensational, as mentioned, the longest kickoff return in Bills history.
And you want to see a group of guys that's fired up now. The Bills kickoff team wants to come out and get a touchdown of their own. They're going to come down and cover this with fire. coming out of their eyes. They are absolutely fired up right now. And the Dolphins, a team that struggles, you always want to jump on them early because you hope they pack it in and call it a day early.
Yeah, but being around these guys as we have, Steve, the last couple of days, I don't think the Dolphins are going to pack anything in.
Well, the Bills are going to learn that the Dolphins aren't going to quit.
Line drive picked up by Welker as he crosses the 20-yard line, and he finds a gap and takes it out to the 37-yard line. So Wes Welker comes back with a very good kick return and gives the Dolphins field position after a 33-yard return at their 37-yard line. Let's look at the Dolphins on offense. A.J. Feely, who's banged up, but had a good game last week. 2 touchdown throws in the win at San Francisco. Geno James is back in at left guard. He'd been hurt. Had not the rookie moves to right guard. Had started at the left last week. Chris Chambers is a guy the Bills are very concerned about. A very good receiver, particularly on 3rd down. So Feely and the Dolphins go 1st and 10. The Bills with the 3rd ranked defense in the NFL. Stop Travis Minor for a loss of a yard. Here's how it lines up. Chris Kelsey starting to come out, a 2nd-year defensive end from Nebraska. Whole front 7 is standout. Fletcher in the middle having another big year. And in the secondary, they're starting a free agent from Tennessee, a rookie, Rashad Baker, but they think he could turn into a tremendous player. He's already started making some plays. Started 4 years for the Volunteers. Second down and 11 throw, and it's incomplete on a quick throw over the middle as Chambers would have had a big gainer had he gotten the ball. And that brings up 3rd and long now for the Dolphins.
That's one of the things the Dolphins have begun to do. They've let A.J. Feely drop back 3 steps, get the ball out of his hands as quick as possible. Their offensive line has struggled in recent weeks. Although they've played better under Jim Bates, they still know that A.J. Feely is not 100% physically, and they don't want him to take any punishment.
He's really had a lot of injuries. He had a dislocated finger last week at San Francisco. Early in the game, they put it back in place, came right back in and threw for 2 scores. On 3rd and 11, timing throw. He's got a receiver, a beautiful play. Chris Chambers going high and coming down with the ball on 3rd and 11 for a gain of 18 yards and a 1st down.
The Dolphins using some different personnel. They came out with 5 wides and they moved a tight end down. They're going to keep guys in to protect Feely, but they're still going to use the philosophy of getting the ball out of his hands quick, and Chambers gives him a target. Chambers can catch those throws. If they can get the ball in his area, even quick, he's going to win most of those battles.
That was a big win for the Dolphins offense. A 50th catch of the year for Chris Chambers. On 1st and 10, Feely pitching again. Another connection as they hits down to the 29-yard line. And again, it's Chambers. Lawyer Malloy, the strong safety, came over. It's another 18-yard gain for Miami.
Watch as Chambers comes off the line. Nate Clemens is going to jump right past him. You see he goes to the run fake, the play action, and leaves Chambers all by himself. And I don't care how good you are as a safety, Lawyer Malloy can't get over there that fast. Nate Clemens completely bit on the play action fake. Chambers was wide open.
Chambers he had to make a catch in traffic previous play, but that time he was indeed wide open. Now to the run, and there's not much there as the ball is taken down close to the 26-yard line. Jeff Posey comes up to hit Travis Minor.
And as you talk about Miami, they've got to beg, borrow, steal some points. They've got to do something against this defense. And as you see, the Buffalo defense, they want to get after Jay Feely. They want him on his back in the backfield all day.
I'll tell you right now, Jay Feely looks like Dan Marino.
He's getting rid of the football very well, and this is an excellent game plan by Miami. This is what they've got to do, throw the ball fast to guys that are open.
On 2nd down and 8, Feely gets time again. He throws a fastball, and the Dolphins are in the end zone. Ryan Gilmore coming off the flank. A 27-yard touchdown play.
Gilmore comes down the middle. The defense tries to break. One of the defenders goes down, falls down, and the safety, Malloy, falls down. That's Fletcher right there, was going to cut in and pick it off and slipped right out from under himself. The ball goes over his head for for the touchdown. What could have been, or what looked like it was going to be an interception, turns into 7 points.
And back to that conversation, Steve, about the Dolphins are a team that's not going to quit. Took them a few seconds longer, but not many, as they mount one of their most impressive drives of this season. An all-out pass attack, and Gilmore is in the end zone, and we're tied. We'll be coming back with the Dolphins kickoff in a moment. Happening fast today in South Florida. Less than 3 minutes played, 2 touchdowns already, and here again is the kick return by the Bills, but this time Miami is all over it. Dolphins sweep it under, and there also is a penalty marker down. Could be a blocking foul. Referee is Jerry Austin. Dolphins have just gone 63 yards in 6 plays in
illegal
their
block
first
from
possession.
behind on the return. Half of distance to the goal. First down.
So the Bills will start very deep in their own end when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. Toyota, choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. And by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
We're back to Pro Players Stadium. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. Bills opening kickoff return, a record 104 yards for a touchdown. And now they're starting from their 4-yard line after a return and penalty as they go to the run, and there's not much happening. McGahee, the standout, first at Central High School in Miami, then for the Miami Hurricanes, who's been the guy that's really jump-started this Bills team. As we look at Bledsoe, had some interception problems last week, but made some great throws. They're giving him more time. He's been sacked far less in the recent games, and he's putting it on the numbers. And now McGahee is down. This, of course, the young player from the University of Miami who suffered the devastating knee injury in January of '03, a complete knee reconstruction. Bills still drafted him in the first round. And now 2 months shy of the anniversary, the second anniversary of that operation. McGahee on the field is I'm sure Mike Mularkey trying to get some information from Bledsoe.
Well, as you see here, it's just a run off the right side. The offense, he's planting this up, and it's hard to see anything. He could have gotten knocked over something. Someone could have fell on his back, leg. You see there's Chris Valerio blocked his guy behind him, and when guys fall on your legs as you go down, sometimes that's a problem. But you know, this has been the guy that's been the difference maker for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he has been the spark that turned their entire season around. As you see him getting up and walking off with a noticeable limp, and that's the same leg that was injured 2 years ago.
But we've seen the Bills a lot this year, Steve, and every game he seems to go off and he's back a play later.
Well, he's a tough guy, and as you wonder why. The big thing, and watch here, is his left leg is hurt. This is the national championship game against Ohio State, January 3rd of 2003. And he has come a long way since that fateful night.
He's walking much better on the far sideline, but is out of the game. Now Bledsoe goes on second down, a drop inside his own 5. He gets the ball to his Shelton, his fullback, and he is blasted. Damon Shelton with his 14th catch, and then a big hit by the cornerback, Sam Madison. So the momentum of this game has turned dramatically to Miami.
And now and as you see as this happens, watch is showing he knows he's going to get hit. And Sam Madison, that's a big man that he hit, and he got the best of it. And that, as you see that opening kickoff by the Buffalo Bills, the Dolphins have snatched momentum right back away from the visiting club.
And this brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Bills, deep in their own end. Bledsoe an open backfield, 5 wideouts. Bledsoe gets it away, but he's not close, taking a long time to release the pass. And Miami playing great football now on both sides of the ball.
Jason Taylor was in the pocket with Drew Bledsoe. Bull rushed the left tackle, Jennings, and just got right back into Bledsoe, and that was it. I mean, that was the cause of everything. Bledsoe tried to hang on to the football, couldn't go to his 3rd receiver, and just threw it away. Jason Taylor was the difference on that play.
In the first meeting, when the Bills beat the Miami Dolphins. Jason Taylor didn't show up on the stat sheet, not even an assisted tackle. So he's playing with a vengeance today, and he had predicted that the Miami Dolphins would win that game. Here's a great punt down to the 25-yard line. Wes Welker runs into his own guys, and Welker is going to be taken down at the 36-yard line. So the Dolphins, who scored on their last possession, will take over in a moment again. Back and ready to go. There is McGahee. The slight injury, it appears to be, was to his ankle, not his knee. They taped his left ankle. As you see, he's trying to get ready to go. He's a tough guy. Well, if there's any way he'll be back in there.
He wants nothing more than to get back in this game. After growing up here, playing at the University of Miami, he wants to come back and show his stuff, particularly here as he finally gets his chance in his second year in the NFL to be a starter.
And now, Steve, let's see if Feely can continue to hit this number 3 ranked defense with those sideline throws and then one over the middle. The Bills defense nothing in that pass attack.
Yeah, they absolutely dominated their first possession. They made the Bills defense look like the 31st defense instead of the 3rd.
Dolphins ready to throw again. An over the middle toss, and Karam's off the receiver. The Patriots rolling along. Let's see how they're doing today as we go to Greg Gumbel.
Don, they're known for quick starts. They now have scored in 20 straight games. The opening kickoff, Bethel Johnson takes it 93 quick yards to the end zone with the extra point. 7-0 New England over the Cleveland Browns and new interim coach Terry Robisky, guys.
So this isn't the only fast start. Thanks, Greg. It is now 2nd down and 10. Feely getting time, a timing throw, and it's picked. Intercepted by Nate Clements, and he has blockers, then slips as he cuts back. So the Bills stand tall on defense on that play, intercepting Feely.
Well, that's what the Buffalo Bills want to do, and A.J. Feely has done that. He's played well at times, but he's also made the bad throw. And on this defensive series, the Bills came up and bumped the receivers for the Dolphins. They did not give him a free release, and Clemens drops back into the throwing lane, and Feely just throws it anyway.
And that, of course, is the lament of the Dolphins, is the turnovers. That's the 29th time they've turned the ball over this season. They are minus 16 in the giveaway takeaway count.
And that was a defensive adjustment after that first series, and the cornerbacks came up and got in the face of the receivers.
And guess who's back is the I-back. Willis McGahee ready to run. Play fake to him. Bledsoe it off and does well to get rid of the ball. How about the Titans and the high-scoring Colts? Back to Greg.
All right, thank you, Don. At Indianapolis, Billy Volek, a quarterback for injured Steve McNair, casts off down the sideline, 48 yards to Drew Bennett, and that overcomes an early field goal. The Titans lead at 7-3 in the first, guys.
Thanks, Greg. The Titans are needing them badly to get going, as you see, standing 4-7 in the AFC South. Right now, the Bills go to the run, and McGahee drives ahead. The Bills feel they can attack the Dolphins with their running game straight ahead. They want to run at the Dolphin defensive tackles. The rookie linebacker from Alabama, Derek Pope, was the lead tackler.
Here the task tracks. They want McGahee to carry it a lot. They want to get him the ball 30 times. If they do that, they'll win. But Miami wants to make Drew Bledsoe throw the football. They saw the first half he had against Seattle a week ago. 2 interceptions in the first half and 1 in the opening series of the second half.
Bledsoe now with 3rd down coming up and needing 7. Stands in the shotgun. Dolphins send a delayed blitz. Here's a throw and a catch, beautifully done. This is the sensational rookie for the Bills, Lee Evans, making his 26th catch of the year. He's averaging almost 18 yards a catch. That was good for 12 yards and a first down.
Well, if you look around the NFL, every team needs to have more than one go-to guy, and the emergence of Lee Evans in this offense and Drew Bledsoe's confidence in throwing him the football has opened up a whole new dimension to the Buffalo Bills offense. Lee Evans has really stepped up as a rookie in the National Football League, and he's helped this club.
Every game he gets better. Here is McGahee with that great change of pace move. He has a tremendous ability to go into a pile and come out with plus yards. That was a 1st and 10 carry down to the 20. for a gain on the play of 6 yards.
And that's what Willis McGahee has done for this club. He sees things. When a pattern of blocking comes up, he knows where he's supposed to go, but if he sees something different, he has the ability not only to change it, but to get there fast.
2nd down and a long 3. Jason Taylor leaving early. We'll see if there's any motion on the right side. They're moving him around. At 10, they had him against the Bills' right tackle, Mike Williams.
99 defense, unabated quarterback. 5-yard penalty results as a 1st down.
He had some game last week, as you know, Steve. 3 sacks did Jason Taylor have against the 49ers. He forced a fumble that resulted in a touchdown, and he also recovered another fumble, and he broke up 2 passes.
Yeah, well, they've got to find a way to get him involved. He did not have a good meeting with Buffalo in their first game. As you mentioned, he was off the stat sheet. He was a total non-factor. Now they're moving him around, and they're trying to find a way to get him to Drew Bledsoe.
1st down and 10. Bledsoe with a straight drop. Here comes the heat. He gets time and dumps it over the middle, and that's the rookie tight end, Ewis, diving into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown in the NFL. Beautifully executed by the Bills and by Bledsoe as he stood in and waited for the tight end to come open. 15 yards and a Buffalo touchdown.
Well, Drew Bledsoe's been criticized for hanging on to the ball too long, but if he can do that, something good's going to happen. He waited and waited and waited, and finally Ewis came open right over the middle of the football. You'll watch as Bledsoe stands and waits and waits and waits, and finally Ewis pops out, and there's nobody home. When Bledsoe can wait like that, it's going to be a long day for the Dolphins.
Ewis, 87 of very sure hands, was a very good basketball player at Oregon State. As the extra point is hit up and good by Ryan Lindell. So a high-scoring 1st quarter continues, and the Bills take the lead 14-7. Ewis on the payoff end of that throw, and the Bills kick off when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way.
Nate Clemens, number 22, after making his 3rd interception of the season, watched his teammates methodically take the ball down on offense. Bledsoe to rookie tight end Tim Ewis on the payoff end from 15 yards out. And less than halfway through the 1st quarter, 21 points are already up in South Florida, and the Bills have a 14-7 lead.
As we said in the open, Don, the team that has won the turnover battle has won 14 of the last 15 of these matchups, and Nate Clemens makes the interception in Dolphin territory, and the Bills go down and take the points. And if you're going to turn the ball over in this league, sooner or later it's going to catch up to you. The Bills got away with it a week ago. The Dolphins didn't get away with it in that instance.
Well, the Dolphins this season have turned the ball over 29 times, and those turnovers have led directly to 94 opposing points. That's the single biggest reason they're 2-9. Lindell hits a kickoff. Welker from the 4 loses the ball, but he's on his way. They go to a reverse, and what a reverse it is. Can Lindell get him? He cannot. He could go the distance. A Bill has a shot at him, and they get him down. Coming to make the play, Jabari Greer, another rookie from Tennessee, has even on a, I wonder if he bobbled it intentionally the way this game is going.
Well, he might have, but they ran the reverse and it worked to perfection. The Bills start to focus on Welker. He hurt him. That wasn't intentional. He hurt him with the first return. Still has the presence of mind to hand the football off to Wyrick, who comes around the end. And you're right, Don, it looked like he was gone. And Jabari Greer makes a touchdown-saving tackle for the Buffalo Bills, but it was well run. And Wes Welker, what presence of mind. Let me tell you something. You want to panic, drop a kick in the National Football League, and your heart's in your throat.
Now Kelsey comes early, and it could be a false start on the Dolphins. Look like it is.
70 offense, 5 yards.
It's like a highlight reel this game. That was a 65-yard reverse return. They got the ball to Wyrick.
We spoke to Drew Bledsoe, and he says, you know, this is going to be one of those defensive, ugly games. It's going to be real low scoring. He's going to be real. And then we've got
ugly defensive game. That's how he characterized it.
21 points in the first half of the first quarter, and almost 2 touchdowns on returns.
We're not even 7.5 minutes in yet. 1st and 10. Feely looking over people, makes a throw and connects. That is Jamar Martin, one of the fullbacks, taking the pass. Taken down by Takeo Spikes. I'll tell you one thing they're doing, Steve. This maligned Dolphin offensive line is really protecting their injured quarterback.
Yeah, they are doing a wonderful job. They have really been criticized roundly in Miami for their offensive line. They're all 5 new guys this year. They have not played well together. They have gotten their quarterback knocked around all season, and they've been one of the main reasons this offense has not been able to find an identity. They have not been able to protect the quarterback, but they are today.
Last week, as you saw, 1 sack at San Francisco, but that is a fairly weak defense. Here's another throw and a catch as this unbelievably well-conceived Dolphin offense continues to rip plays. Marty Booker makes his 34th catch, good for 21 yards, and a marker down.
I think they're going to call Clemens on a face mask.
5 yards.
Half the distance.
To the goal. Number 22 of the defense. First down.
You'll see as they just, they leave the receiver just uncovered on this. He turns it up and finally get the down, and you see as Clemens jumps on his back to try and make the play. He grabs the face mask.
And the Bills have been rushing 4, covering with 7. They're going to probably miss when they, Steve, to try to get to Feely, who is really getting time and making throws. This time Ryan Denny makes the stop on the run play. Travis Minor runs it. The Dolphins have the ball down to the 2.
Excuse me, Travis Minor's not a guy known for running up inside. He's a kind of a scat back. They worry about his durability. He's not a big guy, 5'11", 205, but he does have escapability. But they know that if they're going to give him the ball 30 times, they're asking him to do something he's just not good at, and that's carry the load offensively.
No, he's just not big enough. He's got great ability, though. Coming out of high school in Baton Rouge, he was rated the #1 high school player in America before going to Florida State. Travis Minor was. So Feely sees something he doesn't like and calls a timeout. Miami Dolphins down very close at the 2-yard line of the Bills, looking to tie this game. Dolphins have not had a lot of success scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Goal to goes. They're last in the NFL success rate. Let's see where they go to now. 2nd down and goal from the Bills 2. Feely takes a look on the run. Throwing hard, and he makes the connection. A tying touchdown. It's fired to Chris Chambers. His 6th touchdown catch of the year. And again, the Dolphins down by 7 for a second time, come right back and tie the game.
And what a sensational catch by Chris Chambers. He's going to come out and run a little out route. He's going to come across the field, and watch as Fiedler guns this in. He lays out and plucks it out of the air right in front of Posey, the linebacker for the Bills. And this guy is a great receiver with great hands.
And still we have 5:54 to play in the first quarter, and already 28 points up, tied at 14. And once again, it didn't take long. Dolphins going 31 yards in 4 plays. Feely to Chambers. See 6 total possession today, 4 touchdowns. 2 65-yard plus kickoff returns. One was 104 yards, the opening one of the game by McGee of Buffalo for the go-ahead touchdown. And this drive set up by a 65-yard kickoff return on a reverse. Wyrick getting the handoff from Welker. Here comes McGee again. And he moves it out close to the 29-yard line. The Amazing Race is taking America by storm as teams journey across continents. They're tested to their very limits. Don't miss the critical challenges ahead and what happens along the way. A new Amazing Race, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. Now let's see, Steve, how the Bills come back at Miami.
Well, they've got it up against it. Drew Bledsoe knows that for the first time this year, maybe his defense isn't as dependable as he thought. He may have to score a lot more points than they anticipated.
Here's McGahee. And he loses about 4 yards as the Dolphins were reading number 21 all the way. It'll be 2nd down and 14. Lead tackler was defensive end David Bowens, 96.
And for a defense that's missing a lot of key players, Zach Thomas not in the game today, they knew Willis McGahee was going to be the guy to get the ball today, and you can see there as 6 guys are in on the tackle. Willis McGahee is really going to be the focal point of the Dolphins' attack defensively.
Now do you have to throw on 2nd down? Needing 13 yards. Play fake. Here's a blitzer. Screened it out beautifully, but there's a penalty marker down. McGahee on the run. He's going to go a long way, maybe the distance, but it could come back.
It's going to come back.
What a play, though, as McGahee's down to the 8-yard line, but there's a penalty marker down in the Bills' backfield, and Drew Bledsoe does not look happy. It's coming back.
Yeah, Jerry Austin called the penalty, and he's bringing him back.
Holding, 70 offense, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
That's Trey Teague, the center, on the screen pass, and it happens because it's a double-edged sword for offensive linemen. They want to make the defensive linemen think they're getting to the quarterback, but a couple of guys have got to hold up their block, and you see there right in the middle of your screen as Teague gets pushed back, and he's supposed to let the guy go. Watch as he releases him, and I didn't see a hold on that. Not on Trey Teague.
But a hold is the call, so a 66-yard screen pass play is negated, and the ball is set back to the 15-yard line of the Bills.
And that's not just a 10-yard penalty. That's a 70-yard penalty.
Yeah, good point. 2nd down and 23. Joe Burns now in the backfield for the Bills. Dolphins come with a 4-man rush. Bledsoe fires and incomplete. The intended target was the guy they're now calling Old Reliable, tight end Mark Campbell, but Eddie Moore, 58, young outside backer, was there to defend it.
Well, the Bills' offense, while Bledsoe has had time when he's had to look down the field, he has had no options. Lee Evans and Eric Moulds have been covered very well by the secondary of the Dolphins. He has had to settle for short passes the entire game. And if the Bills want to be more productive offensively, they're going to have Moulds and Evans win on the outside more than they are now.
Yeah, the combination defenses the Dolphins are throwing at him really have Bledsoe a bit confused his offense. And there's a timeout called on the field before this 3rd and long, and now a penalty marker is thrown.
I think they're calling for a delay of game. But Jerry, yeah, he took the delay of game penalty. He looked like he did it intentionally.
Yeah, he's walking to the sideline, but he apparently did not signal the timeout.
That puzzles me because he walked away as though he thought the play was going to stop or he called a timeout. He didn't call a timeout, and the officials are standing there throwing the flag. The play clock ran out. It was as though he did that intentionally, and that's a puzzle to me.
Well, there's a lot of emotion in this Dolphin team. They really want to see their head coach, their interim head coach, lose that tag, Jim Bates. And they're playing like some tremendous football. Here is the throw by Bledsoe. He comes to the wrong side of his rookie receiver, Lee Evans. So the Dolphins a stop on defense, and the Bills have to punt from deep in their own end. And Mike Mularkey, a former Florida Gator tight end and a native of Fort Lauderdale, sees this game turn.
Well, the Bills have an excellent punter in Brian Moorman. He has a big leg, and he's going to have to try and get the field position back for the Bills defense. The Bills defense has been on its heels today thus far. Moorman trying to get the Dolphins back into their end. Wes Welker will return it.
Moorman's last punt was 63 yards. He booms another one downfield. Welker coming up on it. Takes the ball at the 45 and dives down to the 40-yard line. So the hot Miami offense will come out with great field position at the Buffalo 40-yard line. Next, U.S. and international superstars of the slope let it all hang out at the Jeep King of the Mountain competition from Telluride Ski Resort. Wild numbers being put up. Feely has hit 6 of 9 throws today for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is all in the first quarter with 4:31 still to play in it. Guys going for bonus today. Big numbers on the board. And Miami right now is the team with momentum. Here's a handoff. They go to a back that has just been called up off the practice squad, Vic King, who is a rookie from McNeese State. And he gets ahead for about 3. Jeff Posey was the guy who made the stop.
The difference for the Dolphins today has been this. A.J. Feely has been able to drop back and get rid of the football because Chambers and Booker and the other receivers for the Dolphins are winning right now outside. Feely has no problem getting rid of the football. He's got guys winning at the line of scrimmage in the secondary immediately, and that's been the difference.
Bills continue to rush 4. Dolphins. Feely dumps it off, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 7. At the 37-yard line of Buffalo. Vic King was the intended target.
We saw after the first series when the Dolphins went down, scored the touchdown, the Bills made an adjustment of moving their cornerbacks up into the face of the wide receivers. Now they've backed off once again in the secondary, but this has been the difference. Feely just can get rid of the ball. There's guys running, he can get positive yards. There's nobody in his face. He's moved a little bit, but for the most part, the ball is gone before he feels any pressure.
Yeah, he's making quick decisions. He knows where he wants to go, and he's going to it accurately. Larky talked about how the Dolphins are a dangerous team. They're playing for their jobs. Here is a hit as he releases the ball, and a penalty marker is thrown in the secondary.
That's going to be illegal contact down the middle of the football field and an automatic 1st down for the Bills.
Jerry Austin getting this sorted out. The Bills finally got a rush on Feely. He did get the ball away. See what his head linesman's telling him.
Well, there's a little conference, and there's a couple of things you have to admit. If the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, there's no penalty, and if the official feels maybe the ball was uncatchable or thrown away, it won't be a penalty.
Illegal contact, 37 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic 1st down.
That's Jabari Greer, and as the receiver ran down the inside of the field, your watch right here, this Jabari Greer, that's who the penalty is on. There's one hit, he's allowed that. There you can't do that, and that's the penalty right there. That's Rashad Baker, not Jabari Greer. And the officials just missed that call, but that's the guy that made the penalty. But Jabari Greer got it called on him. It was Rashad Baker that the penalty was on.
And that is in the 1st quarter, Steve, the 5th penalty on Buffalo already. 1st and 10 Dolphins. Feely, quick throw, another connection. He's down to the 18-yard line. Marty Booker turning in on the ball, makes the catch for a 14-yard gain and a 1st down.
And this is the reason the Dolphins are playing so well offensively. Booker and Chambers, they get open. That's pretty well covered by McGee. But when you've got guys that are getting open, giving your quarterback a chance to throw it in there, no pass rush is going to get there that fast. Marty Booker, if he can get open that fast, he'll have the ball that fast.
Feely now goes to the run, and this is Vic King, happy to be a part of all this. A guy just called up, a rookie from the practice squad out of McNeese State. He's a bigger back than Minor. They think he can hit into this tough defense, a little more pop.
As we watched him in practice on Friday, King, even though he's only about 10 or 15 pounds heavier than Travis Minor, he really looks like he could take the punishment of carrying the ball 25 times a game, and that's the whole reason they elevated him. 5'10", 215, as you see there. This guy can pack some punch.
And Steve, I have to say, one of the big stories of this game is the excellent blocking of the Dolphin offensive line. Here is a throw and a catch as the Dolphins and Feely continue to look like a team heading to a deep spot in the playoffs instead of a team that's struggling at 2-9. A 15-yard touchdown throw, and Miami looks great.
A 4-man rush that has no chance of getting there. Feely runs out wide open right down the seam. You can't leave a running back or a tight end that open and not expect the quarterback to find him. Great play by the Dolphins.
So Feely, his new career high 3 touchdown total, and it's all come with over 3 quarters still to be played. Jay Feely, who has thrown for 3 first-quarter touchdowns, told us, and we met with him on Friday, that the long trip to the West Coast, they were out there for 2 straight games and stayed out there between games. was really good for the team. He said we got away from all the negative energy in South Florida. There was a lot of criticism of the team here, and with reason. And now the Dolphins looking about as good as a team can look. And they take the lead, and here is the return again. Terrence McGee. A penalty marker is thrown. It'll come back. Tackle made of the 21, but the Bills will be set back inside that. So now Bledsoe on the offense has to show the Bills can throw the ball. Bledsoe 3 of 7 for 31 yards.
Behind, number 53 during the return.
6 first quarter penalties on the Bills. Which NFL team has been the biggest surprise this season? Atlanta, Green Bay, the Jets, Pittsburgh, San Diego. Cast your vote at NFL.com. I'll go with Atlanta and San Diego.
I think San Diego is a huge surprise, particularly this deep into the season.
Dolphin defense seems to be up to stopping virtually everything the Bills have tried to do in their last couple of possessions. Bledsoe goes to the run on first down, and there's nothing there. Well, Derek Pope, the young middle backer, told us when we met with him on Friday at the practice that we expect the Bills to run, and we want them to run. We're ready for it.
Yeah, he's ready for it. This is a guy, Derek Pope, who stepped in for Zach Thomas. You see there, Buffalo Bill on the ground. I think it's Mark Campbell, the tight end.
Been a terrific player. He had 3 touchdown receptions in one game against the Rams. Most ever by a Bills tight end.
We spoke to Mike Mularkey on yesterday, and he said, Mark Campbell's his kind of guy. He's a blue-collar guy. When you call on him, he comes through for you, and he doesn't grunt. He works hard, and that's the kind of guy Mike Mularkey has tried to find for this club. This is Campbell right here, locked up with Jason Taylor, trying to hold him off the backside of the play. And it looked like he just did it stepping on it. And Taylor falls on that knee. You hate to see that happen, and although we almost could become immune to the fact that what a physical game it is, it's amazing these guys get up after any play.
He is a 6th-year tight end from Michigan. Started with the Browns. Bills acquired him in a trade for a 7th-round draft choice, and he's been a standout. But right now, Mark Campbell having a knee looked at. We're back at Pro Player Stadium, where tight end Mark Campbell of the Bills is down. Looked like somebody fell on him.
You think about this game, Don, what has gone, what a surprise.
Here's a summary of it, and there's a lot to summarize. Here's how it started.
Opening kickoff, 104 yards by Terrence McGee. Answered right back by the Dolphins. Touchdown pass.
Gilmore.
Another touchdown pass from Bledsoe to Ewis.
Rookie tight end.
And Fiedler to Chambers.
Feely gets it right in there. Here's another one to another tight end as Feely drills the ball into Donald Lee. So A.J. Feely with a career-high 3 touchdown passes. And Mark Campbell needs assistance getting off the field, unfortunately.
We also saw another 65-yard plus kick return by Wes Welker and the Dolphins on the reverse. And then an interception by Nate Clemens. And we've still got 2 minutes to go.
This is the highest scoring quarter of the season in the NFL. Second down and 9. Bledsoe looks. He's on the run. Bledsoe breaks it. He's going to get out to the 16-yard line. He'll be short of a first down by a couple of yards, bringing up a 3rd and short as he did run for 7 yards.
Bledsoe with no options to throw the football. And you'll watch what they do to Jason Taylor with his hand on the ground right there. You watch it come down. The tight end comes in from being split out and jumps on him as well. He got 2 guys on him. Then he gets moved to the outside, and that's why Jason Taylor's so good. I mean, the play breaks down. He runs inside the hash, then back out to turn the play inside. He's all over the football field. And if you're going to play the Dolphins, you better have an answer for him because he's never going to quit.
And he's playing with a vengeance after being blanked on the stat sheet the last meeting. Here they go to McGahee, and he is cut down short of the first down. So the Bills go to the run, try to take it to the edge on a sweep. And the Dolphins are up to it, and the Bills have to punt again as the Dolphin offense ready to come back out. And they have been shredding the number 3 defense in the NFL, that of the Bills.
And right now the Bills are walking off the field looking around saying what is going on, but the Dolphins knew they've always had a solid defense, and even with the number of injuries they've had, they have been able to play very quality football throughout the year.
See Welker back. Mormon hits a high punt. Welker coming up on it at the 42. Looking for a block, gets one, and finds his way ahead to the 49-yard line, a 7-yard return. And again, Feely will start on his offense with good field position. Monday on CBS begins with Still Standing, and the new comedy Listen Up starring Jason Alexander. Then don't miss TV's most watched comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, and Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men, followed by Monday's #1 show CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman. Monday right here on CBS.
You want to know how to get back on track, this is how you do it. It's midfield for Miami, and Buffalo starts in their own end every time. And if you want to go get back on track offensively, let your defense and special teams do that for you.
Here's Feely. He's been intercepted once, dumps it off nicely to Conrad, and the big fullback runs the ball far sideline for a first down. On a 1st and 10 play, he's ahead for 13 yards. Knocked out of bounds by McGee.
Rob Conrad, the big guy coming out of the backfield, and you know they're starting to use him more with the problems they've had at running back. Rob Conrad has had to expand his role, and they've done that for him, and he's come through. This is a big guy, and if he can break a tackle on a little swing pass like that, all is good.
And that is the end of the first quarter with a score. The Dolphins 21 and the Bills 14 will return to Pro Player Stadium after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS. The left ankle of running back Willis McGahee of the Bills being retaped again. That's what I guess they always do, don't they, Steve, after they turn it?
Yeah, they'll tape it again. He'll come off and say, it's cutting me here. I need more support there, and they'll just redo it. And believe me, they get good at taping ankles on the sidelines in these games.
Big first quarter numbers, and on the scoreboard, here's Feely going long. He's got a guy. Penalty marker's down, and the ball is lost, but there's a penalty marker down in the Bills secondary. Marty Booker was the intended target, a longtime Chicago Bear who they traded for. They're going after McGee, Terrence McGee. That's the target.
Yeah, he's been picked on. He's a
Illegal
good athlete.
contact. 59 of the defense. 5 yards. Automatic push down.
And the Bills are reverting back to their 8-game preseason when they were 0-4 in the preseason, or 0-4 at the beginning of the season, and now they're starting to get penalties and make mental mistakes that are costing them.
And the Bills now assessed with their 7th penalty of the game, as we're just 8 seconds into the second quarter. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker coming to you from Pro Player Stadium, home of the Dolphins. And the Dolphins looking good. Here is a handoff. They go to Minor. Ties the middle of the Bills defense, and not for very much. Lead tackler on the play was Takeo Spikes and Lawyer Malloy, both having terrific years.
And as the struggles of the Dolphins have been well chronicled throughout this year. I mean, injuries and player departures, a head coach stepping aside. But this, as you go down there and talk to these guys, man, the Dolphins are not giving up. They are playing hard. They're practicing hard. Jim Bates has rejuvenated the squad and their attitude, and they're playing like it. And believe me, they're playing for their jobs as well as Jim Bates' job.
No question, Steve. They want to win games and have him lose the interim tag. And here is a diving try. And Feely, bad hip and bad arm, all the problems he has certainly not showing up the way he's playing today, as Kelsey took a dive at him and couldn't get him down.
Yeah, and last week in the San Francisco game, you wondered if A.J. Feely was even going to be able to even walk on Monday. As he took a pounding, he got hit numerous times there, and these aren't just love taps, these are whacks, and that's a little level. Watch this as he goes down, gets hit, bang, gets crunched. He got up after this game, and he was limping, literally climbing to his feet, and you see there his middle finger, and now the middle finger is really what's bothering him. That's the concern.
Not bothering him today. Here he is standing in on 3rd down, makes a connection, and a terrific open field tackle on Chris Chambers is made by Nate Clemens, who's made the one big defensive play for the Bills today, that the interception of Feely.
And Now they'll go for the field goal with Olindo Mare, who is finally back to being almost 100% and being able to kick it. And the Bills holding the Dolphins on that 3rd and 7 to bring up. That's the first good thing that's happened to the Bills, aside from the bad throw by Feely that was intercepted. This is the first time the Bills have done anything positively on defense.
Olindo Mare warming up going the other way in the pregame. I saw him hit from 57 yards. This will be a 47-yarder. Win not a real big factor. He puts a charge into it and he drives it down the middle. So the underdog Dolphins on their home field have gone from an early 7-0 deficit to dominating this game. First-year head coach Mike Mularkey of the Bills has seen his 3rd-ranked defense stunned by the pass offense of the Miami Dolphins and A.J. Feely.
It's looking like the Buffalo Bills were expecting a 2-9 team to show up and play them, and they got the Dolphins, who are not playing like that today.
A terrific kickoff by Mare, who played collegiately at Syracuse, as he booms the ball into the end zone for a touchback. And the Bills will again have the long field to go. They'll start at their 20.
And the Dolphins have literally outplayed the Buffalo Bills in really every facet of the game. They allowed the opening kickoff to be returned, but they have really stepped up to the plate for Jim Bates and this coaching staff. And as down as they were, the thing that the players and the coaches point to that really turned them around was that week stay in San Francisco on the West Coast. They stayed out there through the Thanksgiving holiday, and they said it was very good for the team.
Well, they really came together. They almost won a game at Seattle, and they won at San Francisco. Here's a throw near side. And the tight end Ewis, who his previous catch was good for a 15-yard touchdown. And Ewis goes down. We're told that Mark Campbell has had a knee being looked at, and he'll not be back in the game today. And now Ewis goes down with an apparent knee problem.
Same right knee that bothered Mark Campbell. As you watch as he comes out here, this is just, you let the 2 blitzers go and stand right behind him, and Bledsoe throws the football right behind the 2 rushers, and Ewis goes down right there. Can't see what happened, but it's his right leg.
So the Bills down on the scoreboard and losing people on the field.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. Dockers, shirts and pants that do it all. And by Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. All coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Ewis left the field on his own power. Looked pretty good leaving. Very slight limp. And now McVahee tries again to hit this Dolphin defense and can't do it. He's getting hit and going nowhere.
And another Buffalo Bill down. That's Jonas Jennings, the left tackle, and they're calling immediately for help.
I talked to Jonas yesterday at the Bills hotel. He said he had a subluxation of his shoulder. That's why he had to leave the game briefly at Seattle, and they got it back in. That's where the shoulder really comes out a little bit.
And he finished the game.
So you can't use your arm when it's like that.
As you talk to, and you look at Mike Mularkey there, he's looking around saying, you know, we're losing all these guys. You lose Mark Campbell, then Tim Ewis goes off. An injury here, an injury there, you kind of expect once in a while maybe a guy will bounce back. But when you lose a couple of guys at the same position, then you've got some real problems. You see there Mike Williams already out for the Buffalo Bills. They don't have another tackle to put in. And they're going to have, they got Marcus Price in there. Jonas Jennings is in there. I mean, they're running out of people.
Tell you, beware of looking at the standings coming down here. I think the Bills, after the way they played the last 2 weeks, are dominating 2 of the 2 top teams in the NFC West. First St. Louis and then Seattle, blowing them both out. Came down here to play a 2-9 team, and Miami's hit them like they're headed for the Super Bowl.
And there's Lawrence Smith warming up, getting ready to go in.
Jonas up, jogging off.
And it looks like he's not swinging his left arm, which is obviously the one with the tape on, is the one he dislocated a week ago, the shoulder.
And they send in indeed Lawrence Smith, so they're really moving people around. He's played guard much of the season.
Yeah, he's not played tackle at all, and you're going to line him up out there and put him on. You can bet number 99 is going to line up right across from him.
Bills have only 37 yards passing so far in the game. Miami's Feely has 137 yards passing and 3 touchdown throws.
And the Bills are going to have to do something with Lawrence Smith at left tackle to help out on Jason Taylor.
They're down in 3. Bledsoe swept under. Jeff Skanina, number 90, crashes through. The 28th time this season that Drew Bledsoe has been sacked. And the Bills, who played so well in the recent games, starting to look like the team that was absolutely humiliated on the road against New England.
And Skanina just bench presses Ross Tucker and Trey Teague back in. The pocket collapsed from inside out on Bledsoe, and he had nowhere to go.
Moorman punting on 4th and 11. He booms the ball. Welker backpedaling to the 21. Heading for the far side, and great special teams coverage. Boy, Wires down there to make the play. Also coming down for the Bills was Joe Burns. 61-yard punt return, held to 5. Get complete recaps from all of today's NFL games, including insight from CBS Sportsline NFL experts. Only at CBSSportsline.com, a terrific website. It has it all. So far today, Steve, Miami's had 5 previous possessions, and out of those they've had 3 touchdowns, all on Feely passes, and a field goal. 1 drive stopped by the Clements interception of Feely. Feely on first down. Throwing a fastball. He's a big guy from Oregon. He was going for Chris Chambers. Feely's 6'3", 225, and obviously with a big arm.
And one thing he does that he's good, and you talk to his coaches, they like the way he stands in the pocket, because this game, with the rules and the way it's structured, is built to have a quarterback who stays there, can make throws all over the football field. And when you got a guy that makes good decisions and can make those throws, you feel like you can win with him.
And there's an evolving story. Wayne Huizinga, the owner of the Dolphins, has to make a decision on who his next coach will be, head coach, not an interim one. And the indicators in the last couple of weeks are the next full-time head coach of the Miami Dolphins will indeed be Jim Bates. That's what the players want.
Yeah, they like him, and he's been impressive. He's really energized a team that was struggling. They've played hard for him in the games they've done, but believe me, the Miami Dolphins are going to leave no stone unturned to try and find the right guy. But if it is Jim Bates, they will not think twice about hiring him.
And after they beat the 49ers on the road last week, Coach Bates gave every player on the team a game ball. Now the Bills' run defense shows its stuff as Aaron Schobel makes the stop on Travis Minor. Bates was the defensive coordinator for the 4 previous seasons and into the 5th. And when Dave Wanstad, who had some terrific teams here, stepped down in November, Bates stepped in on an interim basis.
And this is a difference. I think it's surprising to me Jim Bates let him do this. When you have a defense that's working against a team, you run the same stunt, same blitz until the offense can handle it. Offenses don't ever seem to do this. They were killing the Bills early with the quick passes, and they've gotten away from it.
Here's Feely changing the play on this 3rd and 11 call. Comes up under center now. Here's a lob timing throw, and there's too much on it. Bills defenders, Steve, have to be wary. There's been a lot of penalties thrown on them.
Yeah, it's been a couple of penalties. Illegal contact down the field has given them first downs. Not on that play as well, though, as you watch the Bills are going to come with just a 4-man rush and then a late blitz by Pearson Prelo. And Feely just throws this one into the bench.
And you have to remind the Dolphin fans who haven't seen much of the Bills this year that this Bills team in the last couple of weeks has looked as good as anybody in the league. Yeah, they're capable of turning it around at any moment and really putting up points. At the moment, the Dolphins lead by 10. Clements, sure-handed, swept under, back at the 21-yard line. So outstanding special teams play by the Miami Dolphins. Turk with a punt, a 50-yarder, and a -3-yard return. Gilmore comes down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples. That was easy. And by Subway. It's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway. Eat fresh.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T.
Steve, as a longtime Buffalo Bill, I know you had a lot of emotion all the time on you and your teammates, and Miami week came.
Miami week is different in Buffalo than any other week, and the players feel it, the coaches feel it, and certainly the fans feel it.
Bledsoe pump fakes, gives it to McGahee, putting on moves, and McGahee sprints ahead for a first down as he gains about 11 yards on a first down carry. First good run. Up to that, it was 7 carries for 11 yards by McGahee, but he gets more than that. He gets 12 on that run.
Now, you'd like to say, well, that's what he does best, but he's done so much well for this offense. You knew they were going to find a different way to get him involved, and that time they did it on a little draw play that gave him a chance to pick his own hole to run through, and he made the most of it.
Should tell you also that Jonas Jennings is back on the field, and so is tight end Tim Ewitz, who are shaken up. Here's a throw and a terrific catch as the ball is pumped in hard to Josh Reed. A 7-yard gain. Reed not making a lot of catches this year. That was one right off the turf.
And the Bills go no huddle here, and they get a couple of benefits. I think they feel like it'll take the Miami Dolphins out of their ability to blitz, and also if they can make first downs, it'll take some starch out of the pass rush.
Here's Bledsoe on 2nd down and 3. Too much on it. He was shooting at McGahee, and that brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Bills, with still 9:33 to play in the first half.
That was going to be another little screen pass out to McGahee, and the defensive line of the Dolphins sniffed it out. You had Morlon Greenwood and Jason Taylor out there, and McGahee just wasn't open, and Bledsoe threw it away.
See, when the next big play comes, the pass game has certainly been open for business for the Dolphins. Run game has not. When their offense has been on the field, they have only 9 yards on 7 carries to the Dolphins. Now the Bills have a big play coming up, and Bledsoe's going to work it from the shotgun as they overload the trips formation to the left. Slings the ball, and it's caught. A one-handed grab by the rookie Lee Evans, who Bledsoe said no matter what he does, it surprises no one because you can't believe how this kid works and prepares to get better.
Yeah, and you'll watch as now the Bills stick with their no huddle. This is a bunch. 3 receivers come out, and it's up to the defenders to sort through. And you see the catch as he plucks it out of the air by the point of the ball. The Bills need that kind of play right now as the Dolphins defense is finally on its heels just a little bit.
So far they've shut out Moulds, the Bills' top receiver. Bledsoe swings it out, makes the connection, and the Bills are on the run. This is Neufeld, a tight end, working the sideline. So the Dolphins almost get to Drew Bledsoe, and he makes a standout play, eluding the tackler, then hitting a tight end Neufeld for a 29-yard gain.
And the no huddle is doing exactly what the Buffalo Bills wanted to do. The Dolphins defense has simplified a little bit up front. They haven't run many stunts, and that's the reason Bledsoe has time.
Bledsoe on first down, going to the end zone, open receiver, and in the end zone is Lee Evans. So the Bills offense all of a sudden hits the big play, a 21-yard touchdown throw, and the Bills are right back in it against their arch rivals.
And it was the no huddle that did it. The Dolphins defense all of a sudden got a little bit confused and got simple. They didn't do anything complicated. You see there as Patrick Surtain gave one hesitation and couldn't get back into the play. Reggie Howard couldn't get back to help him out, and it was the touchdown. The no huddle was the key to that entire series for the Bills.
Evans now with 4 touchdown catches, and this is rookie season. He's a #1 draft choice out of Wisconsin. Super fast. He's the fastest Bill. And the extra point by Lindell is hit up and good. So the Bills get a sustained drive and get some pass and run offense in that drive, and they cut the Dolphin lead to 3. Just in time for the holidays, an original movie for the whole family. Joe Mantegna, Gene Smart, and Charles Durning star in A Very Merry Christmas tonight at 9, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. There he is, getting ready for the big run later in the month, Santa.
And Lee Evans making a couple of crucial plays on that last drive, and that's been a difference. So many teams, and we haven't even called Eric Moulds' name today. This is a team that has really started to depend more and more on Lee Evans because Eric Moulds is a force. Defenses will do anything, much like Jason Taylor on defense for the Dolphins. You got to find a way to take him away.
And Drew Bledsoe, Steve, with some terrific throws in that drive, starts to build his quarterback numbers, which were minuscule before that drive. And the Bills down by 3. And there is A.J. Feely, who came here from the Philadelphia Eagles, where he was 4-1 as a starter.
As you see there, Bledsoe going over the pictures. His Former Florida quarterback Shane Matthews comes over to lend him some advice and some help.
Out of the Miami defensive game plan was to go at Bledsoe with a pass rush right up the middle, because he's not mobile to get to the outside, although he did have the 7-yard run today. But they feel that what Bledsoe likes to do is take a deep drop, then step up. Well, they want to take away the step up with people there in his face.
And he's also not as accurate. When he moves to throw the football, he doesn't put it where it's supposed to be as often as he does when he can stand still and do it.
The ball is hit down to Welker from the 5-yard line. Welker gets ahead to the 33-yard line, a gain of 28 yards on the return. Josh Stamer makes the tackle.
Special teams of Buffalo has been a huge boost for the Bills with field position. And today, the field position for the Bills defense has not been good. It's London Fletcher, the captain, and you know, you talk about quarterbacks and all that. London Fletcher is having a Pro Bowl type year at middle linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, and you see there's he's yelling and pointing. There's so much screaming and yelling on the football field. The defense changes as many plays as the offense does.
Dolphins pick up the blitz there, and they go to the run on first down and get plus yards out to the 38-yard line. Gain of about 6 yards on the play. Travis Minor runs, and Takeo Spikes makes the stop.
As we spoke a moment ago, London Fletcher having the big year. This is right back here as he steps up, takes on the block of the tight end, moves right over and gets him down on the tackle. But when you've got a guy on you, it's hard to stop a ball carrier for no gain. Travis Minor does a nice job pushing forward and moving the pile for 7 yards. Huge play on first down.
Brings up 2nd down and 3. Feely throw, and with that strong arm, he comes in with a fastball high to Marty Booker as they again go at Terrence McGee.
You know, we're starting to talk. We talked to A.J. Feely. He walked in. He seemed to move all right, but in that game last week, as you saw a few moments ago, he was all nicked up, and you get the feeling that no matter what, he's gonna get rid of the football because he cannot stand to be hit anymore. You may be afraid he may not be able to finish the game because he's fragile right now. He's a tough guy, but his body has been so beaten up in the past month. He's got to get rid of the football to ensure that he's around in the 4th quarter.
Back up is Sage Rosenfels, the emergency quarterback Jason Garrett. On 3rd down, here's a blitz, and Feely does a very good job getting the ball away. Is now, and it could be intentional grounding. He wasn't out of the tackle box.
And that speaks to what we were just talking about, Don. He had to get rid of that. He did not want to get thrown to the ground and put down. And there was nobody there to throw to, and that was an intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Number 7 of the offense. No receiver in the area. 10-yard penalty. Loss of down. 4th down.
There's the tackle box, and he didn't move side to side at all, and there's nobody in the area over here in the open field. And you'll watch as he comes back. He's got that finger wrapped because of the dislocation last week, and he just gets rid of it. And you see there, even as he turned, he limped a little bit, and he's just not 100%, but he is game. I will say that. You have to say that about A.J. He has really earned the respect of his teammates.
Well, he loves to play in the league. Like the tight end Randy McMichael said when people wonder if we're going to play hard, he said, we got everybody on this team loves to play football. We don't care what our record is. Yeah. We want to win, but we all love to play. We'll be ready. Now Clements is back. Still a lot of time to play in the first half. 7:48 to play in it, and already 45 points on the board. All hit downfield by big Matt Turk. Here's Clements at the 32. Turns wide, and another standout special teams play. Oh, Steve Tasker brightens up when he sees those kick tackles.
That still gets me going.
That was your business for a lot of years. Monday on The Late Show, Dave welcomes Renee Zellweger, and later this week, don't miss Tom Hanks, John Travolta, Selma Hayek, and Jerry Seinfeld. All Dave, all this week. Jerry Seinfeld, the man who said, women want to know what's on television, men want to know what else is on television.
That's
except when the NFL's on, which blasts away everybody in the ratings.
You can throw the remote away when a game comes on.
McGahee with that stutter step. Zach Thomas, the middle backer, such a standout player for the Dolphins, is out. this week with a strained hamstring. I was asking him though at practice about McGahee. He said with a thing, he's got deceptive speed. He said he doesn't look like he's running fast. All of a sudden you're getting near him and he's rolling.
And you see Zach Thomas on the sidelines, not active for today's game being taken over for by Derek Pope, and he has taken it upon himself to help Derek Pope be a better player. Not before Pope was even playing, they were together learning, teaching him the middle linebacker position.
Bledsoe makes a throw. On second down, it's well defensed. Tim Ewis makes the catch, but very quickly Eddie Moore, an undersized linebacker from Tennessee, makes the stop, and it brings up third down. 3rd and 6 arises.
Now watch here, and this is a play they ran earlier. The pressure comes, and where the pressure comes from, you throw the football to. And on that play was well defensed by the secondary and the linebacking core, who's played very well today.
Eddie Moore has made 4 stops in the Dolphin defense today. From the shotgun, here come the blitzers, and they get to Bledsoe and hit him hard. So now the blitz packages are coming, the zone blitzes in this modern day vernacular they're called, overloading a side, sending too many people to block.
And you'll watch here, there's just pressure right up the middle as Chris Valerio just gets swum right away by Brian Robinson, the defensive tackle, just runs straight at Bledsoe with no interference. He has no chance. I mean, they absolutely dominated the Bills' offensive line in that play.
Here is the punt, again hit by Moorman, consistently deep dip punter, and it's Welker taking it to the 24. Ball on the field, and the Bills have it. The second turnover of the day by the Dolphins is Wes Welker, who's been a terrific special teams player. They popped it free, and the Bills are on it.
You're right, Don. Wes Welker is an outstanding special teams player. They trust him with the ball. You got to trust your punt return guy, but he gets it hit right on his arm. You see there, Mario Hagan knocks the ball loose, and you can't, I don't care how hard you hold the ball, Don. If somebody whacks right on the football, it's tough. And Wes Welker, who is usually sure-handed, a guy you can trust with the football, gets a bad break.
And the Dolphins with their second turnover, and the Bills now renew a drive at the 35-yard line. Reverse. This is Eric Moulds. They finally get the ball in his hands, and the Dolphins defend it. In fact, they knock Moulds down for a loss.
Jeremiah Bell was all over this play as they run the reverse, and then Bledsoe will come out and try to lead Eric Moulds around the corner. Jeremiah Bell really plays
leading the
well.
blocking.
Yeah, he's trying to lead it, but watch. Bell comes up, and that's Patrick Surtain who makes the tackle, and that's just outstanding play by a corner that the Dolphins have leaned on time and time again.
And Bledsoe steps under center on second down and 11. Bills down by 3. Dolphins come. Bledsoe throws, makes a connection straight ahead. And Josh Reed, who's been quiet in the recent games, has his second catch of this day, his 11th of the season, and he's ahead for what looks to be a first down.
Might be a hair short. Now they give it to him unless they move the chains. I thought he might come up a little short. Josh Reed back into the lineup after being in and out with injuries and being out for the last few weeks. They have needed help in the passing game for guys that can win. And Evans has taken over for Reed, who came into the season as the number 2 and is now number 3.
What a game, though. Stay tuned. Something big happening every few moments. McGahee with a spin move, and he loses the ball, and the Dolphins have it. They're going to rule. Well, we'll see now. It looked like the ball was out before he was down. We'll see if his knee was on the ground.
No question about it, Don. That was a fumble. And I think it was Jason Taylor who made it. He came up with it, and I think he's the same guy who forced the fumble.
You got Eddie Moore right coming in again.
Yeah, it was Jason Taylor who forced the fumble and got the fumble. And so many times you see these pass rushers get all the sacks, and you think they're these Hollywood guys. This Jason Taylor on the run game forces a turnover and gets it himself. This guy does it all on defense, and in that case, he saved Miami field position and got the ball back.
First career fumble in the NFL for McGahee. Here's a throw over the middle. And the ball is taken to the 25-yard line as Vic King, who was just called up from the practice squad, is stopped by Posey, a 7-yard gain.
You know, you can't put a price on turnovers, Don, what they can mean to your club at any given moment. Any time that you get the football away from your opponent, so many things turn around for your club. Field position, ball possession, ability to score, and preventing your opponent from scoring. All that stuff is turned around by one strip of the football. And that's why the team that has won the turnover battle in this series has won it 14 out of 15 times.
And I don't think we're done with turnovers. We've had 3, 2 by the Dolphins, 1 by the Bills. Again, they go to Vic King on a 2nd and short yardage play, 2nd and 2. Pat Williams and Ryan Denny are on the stop, and there's enough gain by Vic King for a first down.
Mike Mularkey looked like his team had stopped the Dolphins' momentum. But now the Dolphins get it back. I mean, Bills got the turnover, all was well and good, and then they turn it right back to the Dolphins. And that's the thing about Jim Bates and the Dolphins. There is no give up in this organization, on the coaching staff, or in that locker room.
And a long way to go on this one. Here's a blitz, and Feely does a great job standing in, making a connection, a first down throw to Randy McMichael. The guy who says everybody on this team loves to play football. Don't count us out. He's good for an 11-yard gain and a first down on the catch.
And McMichael is a tight end who has had, despite the problems the Dolphins have had this year, he's had an outstanding year, and that's tough to do from the tight end position. Their quarterbacks haven't played well. Their offensive line hasn't played well. This guy has been getting it done week in, week out, and you really have to tip your hat to that guy because somebody's got to give him the ball, and he has to win all the time.
That was his 52nd catch of the year. Feely makes the throw, and a big defensive play by the Bills and a first down play. McMichael gets the ball again. They'd been defending him. And Lawyer Malloy, number 36, all-pro player in the past, at strong safety, makes the stop.
And you see here, you wonder why he's having a great year. If you can make catches like that, I don't care who throws you the football, you're going to get a lot of catches. I mean, Lawyer Malloy had to come up from his safety position to cover McMichael, and McMichael makes the one-handed grab. I mean, it's so difficult to play well individually when your offense is struggling, and you really got to say Randy McMichael's done it.
Let's see what they go to now. On 2nd down and 7, Feely gets a deep drop, and a throw. He's intercepted on the run is Takeo Spikes. Rob Conrad, the fullback, and then Feely getting down. Not being treated kindly is Takeo Spikes. But Spikes makes a huge play with 2 minutes to go in the first half, down actually to 156. The 3rd turnover of the game by the Dolphins. 34-yard return.
Mother and daughter take on the fishing challenge.
Get out of here.
But seasickness could sink the grandparents. And are the wrestlers so strong that another team might quit?
I can't see.
Don't miss the new Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
A.J. Feely has just been picked off for a 2nd time by Takeo Spikes, and the Bills are in good position.
This is the first interception to Clements in the first quarter. Then Welker a few moments ago got knocked and the ball came loose, and then A.J. Feely throws this interception. And I'll tell you what, I like A.J. Feely. Watch what he does at the end of this. He goes after Takeo Spikes. And I'll tell you what, I love quarterbacks who don't get frustrated and pout after an interception. They get angry and want to get even, and A.J. Feely did that. He's one of my new favorite players as a quarterback. I love the way he went after Spikes.
In his wisdom, I'm not sure if Spikes is a guy you want to antagonize. One-on-one, I know who wins that. Here is a handoff to McGahee as he turns the corner, and a marker is thrown in by Austin again. The referee fired a marker in, and he's calling a holding call against the Bills.
10 yards, repeat first down.
13-yard gain is negated. You remember the 66-yard play that was called back by McGahee.
The Bills have had a lot of penalties in this quarter, and this is what is so deceiving about Willis McGahee. Even when he's running full speed, he kind of runs with that flat-footed gait. He doesn't bounce, he doesn't run. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast, and when you get up close to him, he just outruns the angle. And I think that's the most surprising thing for defenders when they see him on film and then when they see him on person is when he turns it on, he's going, and they can't catch him.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that'll stop any play is an offensive penalty. And now the Bills are set way back. They're in long field goal range at best right here. First down. Bledsoe stands in, sidearms the ball, and gets it down to the 22-yard line. Gets it to Willis McGahee. Eddie Moore making the stop. Bills have been penalized 8 times, 8 in the first half. Miami just 3.
And, you know, that'll overcome a lot of turnovers. I mean, the Bills get the ball back on turnovers, but they're giving up a lot of the good things they've gotten by holding penalties, blocks in the back, illegal contact down the field. It's one way to give back the gains you get in turnovers is to get penalties called.
Eric Moulds is the guy who's been quiet today. Maybe the best player on the Bills team as the ball is run down inside the 20-yard line by Joe Burns. He's taken down by the middle backer Pope.
Buffalo will take a timeout right here with 59 seconds left. Obviously, they don't want anything crazy to happen. They want to end up with a chance at a field goal to tie this up at halftime, but they would like to take a shot at the end zone.
Coming up is the Nextel halftime report. Join Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest scores and highlights. All coming up on the Nextel halftime report.
If you're thinking about what the strategy is right before halftime in this case, you do want to take a shot at in the end zone. It's a double-edged sword. If you risk a shot at the end zone, you also risk turning it over. And if you hand the ball off in a run play, you have no chance of making a first down before halftime. So, as you see there, this is the point where you might see one of those trick plays that the Bills like to run so much. I mean, they ran one last week for a touchdown. Do something that looks tricky but isn't very risky.
Well, the big thing we're looking for now, I think, is more turnovers, Steve, because that's going to happen. There'll be more in this game. These people are popping out there. They're down. Here's a rusher, and ball's on the field. Miami have it.
Incomplete pass.
It's ruled an incomplete pass.
We just spoke about the risk factor, Don, and that was a dodged bullet.
Well, the Dolphin coaches are telling the guy that picked it up to keep going to the end zone.
And it makes absolutely no difference. Jerry, the official standing right there, Jerry Austin, and you'll watch as Bledsoe starts to throw this. The ball's coming down, and there's no question. That's the old tuck rule. I mean, he was starting to go forward and turn and throw it. His arm was going forward, and the ball came out. It was an easy call for Jerry Austin. The fans don't like it, but it was the right call.
And Rex Stewart up in the NFL replay booth confirmed it. It was an incomplete pass, so now a game-tying field goal will be on the way from 38 yards.
Missed.
And the ball is off to the side, so Lindell misses. And the Dolphins dodge a bullet after another turnover. And with 52 seconds to play in the first half, they hold to a 3-point lead.
You see Jim Bates is livid on his sidelines trying to get Jerry Austin. He's waving Jerry Austin over. He wants an explanation for that incomplete pass call. And right now I think Jim Bates, I think he's a defensive coordinator talking. He needs to think like a head coach. He's got his offense taking the field with 52 seconds left. He better think of what he wants his club to accomplish. He could possibly, the way they've been throwing the football, get in field goal position, if not score. I think he needs to put his head coaching hat on and leave his defensive coordinator hat on the sidelines.
Well, let's see what the Dolphins go to. They're going to take their 3-point winnings to the locker room. They go to the run on a first down. Travis Minor is stopped by Nate Clements, and the clock winds down inside. 40 seconds to play in the half.
And they go no huddle, so that's a...
Healy gets time, and he almost got the umpire. Looking at Travis Minor, that stops the clock with 30 seconds.
That's strange to me. You go on a run play on first down, then you go no huddle to hurry up and you throw it. I mean, if you're going to go no huddle and hurry, you're going to throw the football. You got to make some ground up. Don't run it and expect to conserve clock. Are you going to go for a score, or are you going to run out the clock? It's got to be one or the other.
It's a lot of emotion out there. You talk, Steve, about Miami week, and I'm sure for the Dolphins it's Bills week. There's a lot of popping going on. That ball's going to be freed up more. Here is Feely standing up. He makes the throw, and it's incomplete as it skips off the fingers of his receiver, Darius Thompson.
And that's the first hard shot that Feely has taken on you. You see he's not going to swing that arm. That middle finger is the one that's taped, really hurts him. And you'll watch here as the Bills finally get a little bit of pressure on Feely.
Well, they're bringing blitzers now.
They're bringing some, yeah, they are. And
that's Fletcher.
That's Fletcher along with, I believe, Kelsey at the end.
So with 25 seconds left, the Bills will have a chance at a return. Here's Matt Turk for the Dolphins. Well hit ball. Clements at the 22. Rule number 1 right now, hold on to the ball because they're both hunting the ball.
Yeah, with this few seconds left in the half, the last thing you want to do on special teams is to have a big play happen against you with a fumble or a muffed punt. Just end up the play with the football any way, shape, or form you can.
Bledsoe has been under pressure. The Dolphins bringing heat. Doing it early with just their base rush. Their defensive linemen then coming with blitz packages as Bledsoe on the grass a lot of the time here in the first half after he releases the ball. And that time he coughs it up, but it's ruled an incomplete pass. He's 11 of 18 for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's not been intercepted. His counterpart Feely is 13 of 25 for 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's been intercepted twice.
The Bills going to try and throw a Hail Mary.
He's a guy who can throw a long ball. There is Reed, and he can't quite get to the ball.
Now they ran the pump fake to the Hail Mary down to Eric Moulds and Lee Evans and had Josh Reed running a corner out by himself, hoping the defense would forget about him. Was open, but it was too risky a throw. I think Drew Bledsoe threw that one wide and out of bounds. I'm surprised the Bill, with 7 seconds left, the worst thing that could happen is to fumble the ball in the pocket or throw an interception that has a chance to be returned for a touchdown. You got one play, and the odds are so long. Why not kneel down, get to the locker room with a 3-point lead, trailing only by 3.
Well, that must be their thinking as they go to the run to Joe Burns, and that'll do it for the first half. And what a first half it was, as the underdog Dolphins on their home field, after giving up a 104-yard kickoff return on the opening kick of the game to Terrence McGee, rally back and take a 24-21 lead. End of the first half, and the Dolphins in the lead. Will be back with the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel halftime report, sponsored by Nextel nationwide walkie-talkie.
At the half, it's the Dolphins by 3 over the favored Bills. Don Craigie with Steve Tasker, a game that you can really expect the unexpected. The Dolphins with those 3 first-half turnovers, but that's been pretty much offset, I think, Steve, by the fact the Bills have had those 8 penalties.
Yeah, and they've been penalties for first downs, illegal contact in the secondary. They've had huge clips on huge plays. Willis McGahee, he had a long run, called all the way back. It turned into a 70-yard penalty. That's been the difference in this game. The Dolphins have played an outstanding football game. They've outplayed the Bills at every turn, and for a 2-9 team, they're putting it on the line for themselves, for their coach, for their fans, and we up here in the booth appreciate it as well. These guys have not laid down at all, and in a season that seems to be lost, they've found themselves here late.
Well, Mike Mularkey said these guys are playing, their coaches are coaching for their jobs, the players are playing for their jobs, and you really get, there's an underlying current. They're really playing very hard for Bates. They'd like to see him back.
Yeah, they would, and the guys who are playing hard and the individuals that you see here in the fantasy notebook, the numbers out. A.J. Feely has played he's got 3 interceptions, which have hurt, or 2 interceptions have hurt him, but he's answered with 3 touchdowns. Bledsoe has been sacked and pressured as well. McGahee and Travis Minor, nothing. 31 yards for McGahee, 7 for Minor. The running game has been shut down by both defenses, and the receivers have really been done well. Chambers with a touchdown, Evans with a touchdown. Reed has also emerged for the Buffalo Bills, which is a little bit of a surprise, but also the tight end Randy McMichael has also emerged. This is a game that has been anything but as expected. It was supposed to be an ugly defensive struggle, and it has been fireworks all over the place.
Well, that first quarter was something to behold. I mean, just phenomenal things. One guy who hasn't erupted yet, who might, and that's Eric Moulds, who's one of the best players at any position in the NFL. The Bills a tremendous wide receiver. The Dolphins have him well defensed. You can be sure the Bills are making halftime adjustments, as are the Dolphins. And Miami will start the second half with the ball. Here is the kick return. Welker is out to the 21-yard line. A kickoff return of 22 yards. A.J. Feely comes out.
Yeah, he's been effective, and you look at his completion percentage for passes over 15 yards. That says a lot. I mean, this is the guys outside. The receivers are getting open, and they're getting open deep. Feely being very effective down the football field, which is huge for a team that struggled offensively. It keeps them on the field, lets them move the chains, and it really puts the Bills defense on their heels.
And as you know, Steve, Miami has not done well in the third quarter this season. The Dolphins have been outscored 68-10. Conversely, the Bills have a 53-12 scoring advantage on their opposition in the third quarter, but that's all past history.
See Travis Minor busting it up inside, and that's something the Dolphins come out in a 3 wide receiver set, and the Bills have seen a lot of this year, Don. Teams will try and get in a 3 wide receiver set to get the Bills.
Offside, 95 defense, penalties decline, second down.
Teams will try to get them into a different package of people. They can't run against the Bills' base defense, so they'll go 3 wides and then try to run against this defense, and they got it done on first down.
They did. They bring up a second down play. Short yardage play, back to the power run, and they get the first down and more as the ball is taken to the 35-yard line. So the Dolphins, who came out pitching when the first time they got the ball from scrimmage in the first half, go to the run now.
See there the stat pack, the rushing yards, and those for Buffalo 44, and then the passing yards. Miami has really moved it on the ground. Both teams aided by a kick return game. Turnovers, of course.
And here is Feely on first down and 10. To give him time, he nicely throws another ball on the field, and the Bills, the absolute capital error, trying to pick it up and run with it. If the Bill had fallen on it, they'd have had the ball.
That's a mistake on Martin for fumbling it, and absolutely a mistake by Nate Clemens, knocking the ball out of bounds instead of falling on. And these are the kind of plays that cost you football games. You see there, Spikes knocks the ball away, watches Clemens. He's thinking touchdown, but he absolutely makes a huge mistake not covering that football for his team.
Dolphins keep the ball, and they will now go with second down and 9. Our package, extra tight ends. Feely stands in as they blitz the middle linebacker. Pass and a catch out to the 44-yard line, a gain of about 7 yards. Bring up third and short, third and about 2.
Terrence McGee on the ground. See the Dolphins coming out in a wide set once again, getting the Bills into a nickel package and then trying to run it and then throwing quick passes against it. And the Bills, Don, as you see there, Terrence McGee, they have had a number of players had to leave the field with injuries. Some of them came back, some of them didn't.
Yeah, Terrence McGee, they felt he was enough of a prospect and an emerging good player at cornerback that they allowed Antonio Winfield, to go to the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, no matter how he's playing cornerback, he's one of the best kickoff return men in the National Football League, as we saw in the opening kick today.
So he's up, and apparently Terrence is all right. He had some sensational games on the field this year. He had 8 tackles and a sack and an interception against the St. Louis Rams. Third down and 2 arises now for the Dolphins at just inside their 44. Game has settled down a bit from 100 miles an hour to a more paced game, and here is Feely standing in against a blitz, and they get him. Aaron Schobel, coming off right end, was there along with Chris Kelsey, the 2 ends pinching, and so the Bills get the first sack of the day of Feely.
To the top, Jabari Greer, who just came into the game for Terrence McGee, comes on a corner blitz and gets around the corner, and Feely sees him out of the corner of his eye. He has to know that his back can block him, but Jabari Greer, coming into the game for the injury, comes right off the corner on the first play.
Matt Turk, a big punter at 6'3", 225 pounds, booms the ball downfield. And the marker's down already as Jonathan Smith, also known as Fast Freddie Smith, advances the ball, but there is a marker down. It was not really came down when the ball was in the air. Marker was thrown. 2
markers down, one at the line of scrimmage, one downfield. And they're having a little discussion. And that's one thing, that's a frustrating thing for you. Even the players don't really know how this is going to turn out. It could be offsetting, it could be one over the other. Special teams, you throw the rule book out, nothing's really the same.
Holding on the receiving team, number 55, during the kick. We have tripping, number 37 of the receiving team. That penalty will be declined. Will enforce the holding from the spot.
So 9 of the 11 guys did not do something wrong in that play for the Bills.
Buffalo.
2 others did. Bills will get the ball, but they'll be set back. And we return to Pro Players Stadium.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Drew Bledsoe and the Bills offense ready to go on offense for the first time in the second half. First half, Bledsoe threw the ball 19 times, completed 11. 2 for touchdowns. He had 119 yards passing after a slow start.
The field position woes for the Bills begin again with the penalties.
9th penalty against the Bills. McGahee. That what makes him a terrific player. He was hemmed in with nowhere to go, and bang, he gets plus yards. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why would Bob Dylan break his long silence and do his first television interview in 19 years? There's only one way to find out. Watch 60 Minutes tonight.
Bob Dylan on 60 Minutes.
The old Rolling Stone himself.
There you go, man. I want to see Morley Safer cover
Only
a kick.
great.
I want to see Morley Safer cover a kick just once.
I know we're not going to see Bob Dylan cover one. Here's a throw and a catch, and there is Moulds. We talked about Moulds would emerge, and that's his first major play of the day, but it won't be his last. A 15-yard gain. He is really one of the best players in the NFL. Every area can measure.
You talk about the Bills, and they were a little bit nondescript offensively in the first half, although they had some moments, and this is a reason. This guy didn't have the ball in his hands. Eric Moulds is a big part of this offense. They got to find a way to involve him even in tough games.
McGahee, they're looking for him all the way. The linebackers holding position. The gaps are closed. And Eddie Moore, who keeps making plays, that undersized young linebacker, makes another stop. Number 58 coming off now.
I think that's been one of the great stories of this Dolphins season. Their defensive guys have stepped in. Zach Thomas is out. They lost both their big tackles down inside. They've had guys step in and play well.
Bledsoe makes a throw and a connection. This is Ryan Neufeld, linebacker out of UCLA, on a 2nd down and 9 play. He's ahead for 10, almost 11 yards and a first down. Reggie Howard, an extra defensive back, gets him down. So Bledsoe with another very sharp throw, and they give him time. He's threading it in.
And you see there they go no huddle. It's the only real success they had in the first half, and they stay with it here in the second, trying to simplify the Dolphin defense and get them out of their blitz package.
Trying to keep the Dolphins from changing people. On the down and yardage, here is McGahee. That great ability, like all the good ones have, to accelerate. He has the burst, and he's big. A difference maker. He's been prime mover as the Bills have won 4 of their last 6 games.
The Bills run one tight out in, run another one on. They substitute. The Dolphins do not defensively.
McGahee with 42 hard-earned yards on 13 carries. And he works it ahead on a 2nd down and 4 play. and is very close to a first down. So the Bills, I think, Steve, now looking to methodically take the ball down the field and run clock and control the game some.
One of the things that's happened with the Bills is their defense has made adjustments at halftime in the last month or so. When they come on the field, they really have shut down teams offensively. The Bills offense has not done as well at that in other games.
Bills have actually won 4 of their last 5 games, and now Bledsoe is tripped up. A big loss, a sack, the second sack of the day. Brian Robinson, number 98. Defensive tackle busted through, and the knockdown's made back at the Bills' 42-yard line.
And they get a good rush with just 4 people, as you see there. That's Robinson, pushes, bull rushes Jonas Jennings back into the backfield. Excuse me, Marcus Price back into the backfield, and Bledsoe tries to get out of it, steps on somebody's foot. That's just a bull rush, hard rush by 4 guys who get to the quarterback.
And here's a tough play call now as the Dolphins will be coming hard with a pass rush on 2nd down and 18. Bledsoe with an underneath throw, gets a little bit but not much. It brings up 3rd and long, just a 3-yard gain to Eric Moulds.
And they stay on 3rd and 16. They're going to stay. They're finally going to huddle up. But you see Bledsoe a moment ago tripped. You saw him slip as he planted his foot in the pocket. You see other guys go down. There's nothing wrong with this football field. It is absolutely pristine. It's one of the best natural grass surfaces in the league. The Bills have nobody to blame but their foibles, but their own selves. They've slipped, they've fallen, they've had guys injured, and it's cost them.
Look at those defensive backs come up tight in that press coverage. Bledsoe looks, makes the throw and a connection. It'll be well short of a first down. A beautifully executed play, but the Dolphins do not give up the first down yardage as Moulds comes down with his 3rd catch of the day.
And now that's Miami week right there. I mean, this is a battle. I mean, these teams, I mean, let's face it, the Bills are playing because they know if they have any kind of chance, they're playing to win out and get in the playoffs. The Dolphins are playing for themselves and their pride and their season and their coach.
We mentioned about the Bills being 0 for the 70s. I remember I was at the game when they broke the string. Joe Ferguson threw a late interception for the Bills. Looks like they were going to lose again to Miami. Villabiano said, you know, listen, it isn't fun to get behind in the 4th quarter. And then the Bills run. Now in the last recent years, as the Bills, you guys went to the Super Bowls in the 90s, kind of turned it a lot. But in this 78th meeting, it's been airtight. And here is a down ball inside the 5-yard line. So the Dolphins will start again, but this time deep in their own end at their 4.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. The makers of the new Ultra Strength Ben Gay pain relieving patch. It's what's hot in pain relief. And by GMC trucks and SUVs. We are professional grade.
We're back and ready to go in the 3rd quarter. The 2nd possession of the half for Miami.
See, the Dolphins not doing much offensively in the 3rd quarter. And the Bills not giving up much. Now you know the Bills defense, aided by that good special teams play, downing the ball inside the 5, will be fired up and hunting the football. Man. Travis Minor was going to pump out some big yards, and all of a sudden London Fletcher absolutely stonewalled him. 59.
Still a pretty good play on 1st down, a 5-yard gain as he steps up. And then right here early in this 3rd quarter, it looks like the Dolphins saw something in the first half that allowed them to think they were going to run up inside the tackles in their running game. Travis Minor with a couple of nice runs early in the 2nd half, right in between his 2 tackles.
And Feely with the interception problems today. He's thrown 2. Has to be wary in his own end that he doesn't turn it over. They go back to Travis Minor. And this is going to bring up 3rd down now and short yardage, 3rd and 2.
This is the last 5 possessions for the Dolphins. As you see, they had some pretty good field position, not outstanding, but it ended in a punt, interception, and punt, and they didn't get very many yards and not very many plays.
They run it and they break it. First down and more as Travis Minor, the former Florida State Seminole rolls it wide and gains 14 yards on 3rd and 2, and the Dolphins drive on.
And right here you'll see he just pounces it outside, and this is what Travis Minor does do well. He's not known for an inside physical runner, but if he bounces it outside, he can make some big plays. I think the Dolphins asking him to do that, and I think he uses his vision. Was going to be another tough up inside run, but he saw the opening and took it.
Used his speed. He's now gained 49 yards on 12 carries. Here's an end-over-end throw that's completed.
You're right.
Well, it looked like a bad punt.
Yeah. Feely with that bad finger, and he's talking to McMichael, wondering what was going on. They weren't in the spot where he thought they were going to be. He went ahead and threw the football and completed it, but he wants to get that straight. You know, watch as the ball comes out. That thing's
tipped either.
Yeah, that's a
9-yard gain.
That's a wounded duck going out there, although it had good velocity, and it still got there. It's a tough ball to catch.
Now Feely and the Dolphins have 2nd down and just 1. Minor finds his way up the middle as they're trap blocking now and getting them some gaps. Lawyer Malloy, safety, came up to stop him.
This is a great run by Minor up inside, and when you run up inside, it's different than running outside. Inside, you almost have to be more patient. But if anything at all opens up, you have to be unhesitating. You have to jump up inside. The holes are small, except that's pretty big. Usually the holes are just cracks. You slip inside it, get what you can get, and a 3-yard run is a big run when you're running right down inside like that.
And they've been running right down inside them a little bit better as this game wears on. 1st down and 10. They run blitz. Minor with nowhere to go, and he gains no yards. Jeff Posey, 96, outside backer, came in. Was the lead tackler. Also in the stop was Kelsey.
Well, down inside, they've got Tim Anderson, the defensive tackle, in there, who is playing a lot. And of course, Chris Kelsey, and they also have number 98, Ron Edwards, in there. So Sam Adams and Pat Williams are on the bench watching this series, maybe trying to stay fresh for a 4th quarter push. But the Dolphins running well up inside.
And the Dolphins have defeated the Bills 8 of the last 10 times they've played here at Pro Player Stadium. Here's an open receiver. Turning inside the 40 and down inside the 30. And Marty Booker, the former Bear, is ahead for a 36-yard gain.
And that's what we saw in the first half, Don. A.J. Feely coming out and his receivers winning fast and him getting the football fast. A little play action, and the ball is out of there. Chris Kelsey, the defensive end, they caught him in a zone blitz. The defensive lineman dropping back into coverage. If the quarterback has an extra beat to find somebody, those big guys back there aren't as nifty in the secondary.
And Lawyer Malloy gets him out of bounds. Might have saved a touchdown. Now the ball's on the field, and the Bills have it. End of drive. New story. Bills offense comes out. The Dolphins are 0-9 this year when they've lost the turnover count, which they're losing badly today, but yet they're leading the game. So an impressive drive ends abruptly on the 4th Dolphin turnover of this day. Bills have it when we come back. The Dolphins were rolling, and then the 4th turnover of the day. A lost ball on the fumble, and the Bills have it back, but they had the long field to go. And they've had limited success moving the ball consistently against a fired-up Dolphin defense. McGahee. Well, they're going after that ball, Steve. And they're good at it. All these NFL teams, they practice it.
Yeah, they do. And you saw a moment ago, this is Leonard Henry in the game for a rare carry. He's a backup, and he has the wrong arm down to receive the hand cap. Right here, his left arm should be up. His right arm should be down. He takes it backwards, and Feely has nowhere to put the football. A backup getting into the game messes up the ball handling and results in the turnover.
Doing positive turnover differential, 2-0. When negatives they are today, 0-9, but still holding to the 3-point lead. Here is Bledsoe. Look at the catch by Moles. Unbelievable play, and a penalty marker's down in the Dolphins secondary. 11-yard gain if the play goes.
And this was a quick flag on a quick play. I don't know.
Well, Bledsoe told us, you remember, Steve, that opposing teams are all over Moles because they know the game will be over fast They don't have extra people.
Well,
on
he's a
him.
home run hitter, and he's a tough physical receiver, and he's not afraid of the contact. In fact, he relishes the contact, and he's a fighter out on the corner, and you rarely see those in this league, even with all the great receivers.
29 of the defense. Penalty is declined.
You got Sam Madison.
First down.
They'll go with the 11-yard pickup on the pass.
And that's Madison right there, and you see him grab him. It's right at the line of scrimmage, right at the point of attack, and it results in the first down. Moulds, and that's why Moulds is so tough. The guy's holding him. He still gets through the hold, puts his arms up, and pulls it down. And that guy, I mean, every defense in the league fears a guy like that, a guy who is a fighter at a position where most times you get a finesse player.
He's coming out here in the second half with 4 catches now for 38 yards. Here's McGahee turning the corner, and he works the sideline with his head down and drives across the 40. Knocked out of bounds by Moreland Greenwood.
It was a good play by Greenwood, but this is a guy like McGahee's the thing. He can run inside, and then he also has the speed to run outside. Most guys can do one or the other, and this point of his career, McGahee seems to have both. And watch this stiff arm. I mean, that's like hitting somebody with a taser gun, and then he takes on a linebacker and wins. I mean, that's why this guy McGahee has opened so many eyes and turned this offense around.
When he rushes for 100, the Bills are 5-0. All 5 of the wins have come in games that McGahee's rushed for 100. Bledsoe waits, and then he is struck. Derek Pope, the rookie middle backer out of Alabama, drafted in the 7th round. He talked about how Bledsoe will stand in and wait for something to open up. He's not afraid, but that time he waited a half second too long, and they have now sacked Bledsoe 3 times, have the Dolphin defenders.
Derek Pope is a guy who has studied guys like Dexter Coakley, Dad Gwynn, Zach Thomas, who he works with, trying to be good as a small inside linebacker. He's doing a good job.
Last week, the Dolphins had 8 sacks of the 49ers. Here's a throw and a drop. Penalty markers thrown in. And it's thrown by the umpire, which often indicates holding on the offense.
And that's what it's going to be. Although the Dolphins will probably refuse this penalty.
Holding, 70 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
I think he said 70. Trey Teague.
Trey Teague, and that's the 2nd time he's been called. Right inside, you see here's Josh Reed right in the slot, comes out. And this is a ball you'd want your receiver to catch. It would have been a good catch, but it's one you expect an NFL guy to make. Trey Teague has to go to the sideline knowing he's got the 10th penalty on Buffalo today.
That is the number. The Bills with 10 penalties. Mormon hits a line drive downfield. Welker with room to return from the 11. And he is taken down at about the 23-yard line. The Bills call their special teams the Special Forces. That's the Delta unit that covers punts. 51-yard punt and a 13-yard return. And the Dolphins are ready to go back on offense.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cadillac and the new STS with available performance-tuned all-wheel drive, Breakthrough, and by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler 5-star relaxed fit premium quality denim.
Bledsoe on the sideline. Dolphin offense comes on the field. The Dolphins with only 1 third-quarter touchdown this season, holding to the 3-point lead they had at the half. 24-21 is the count. A.J. Feely working at quarterback, has completed 17 of 29 for 212 yards. 3 for touchdowns, but he's been intercepted twice. They run Minor, and he gets a little bit. Log on to NFL.com and see what the analysts have to say. And the reason the AFC is so dominant this year in the NFL, Sims, Boomer, Sharp, and more comment on it. Read all about it at NFL.com or at NFL on AOL. One reason might be, Steve, they have more good quarterbacks in the American Conference. Feely, other than the interceptions, having a good day. Here's a deep drop, beautifully timed ball, and then it's off the hands of Travis Minor. You remember the last time he carried, it was a fumbled ball, and the Bills stopped to drive on it.
Minor having some good luck running the football in the last series, also inside and outside, trying to get him involved in the passing game. And A.J. Feely not getting much help from his running backs. His receivers have been playing very well outside and his tight ends. But his running game and his passing game to his fullback and his running backs has betrayed him.
He made those early downfield throws to Chambers. The Bills have adjusted to that. Chambers has been quiet for a while. Chris Chambers, a very good wideout, but early in the game he was a difference maker. Feely's looking over that way. Now the heat is coming, and he does a good job just getting rid of the ball and getting out of the tackle box before he did it on a 3rd and long, so he didn't have intentional grounding.
And this has kind of been one of the things that's been an identity for this Buffalo Bills football team. The 3rd quarter has been their quarter during the year. They make adjustments as well as any coaching staff in the National Football League, and A.J. Feely's feeling it now. I mean, they have really struggled with the turnover a moment ago, but the Bills defense has played outstanding in the second half of football games this season.
Interesting, Steve, you return punts a lot in the NFL. The Bills have 2 guys back now, deep safeties, anticipating the punt, not just Clements. Better to have someone talk to you when that coverage is coming down. You're looking at the ball, and they're looking at you with crosshairs on you.
Always nice to have friends.
45-yard punt, no return. Back in South Florida, temperature 80 degrees, a breezy day, no threat of rain, perfect playing conditions. Bills down by 3. Ready to go on 1st and 10. Bledsoe stands in. He's got time for a long ball. He's got a wide open receiver, and it's caught by the super fast Lee Evans. No flags. The Bills take the lead. 69 yards. That's why you get drafted in the 1st round.
That is exactly
why. Fast.
The final play of the 3rd quarter, Drew Bledsoe finally completes a long pass on a play action.
What a throw and catch, though. That was.
It looked as though it was going to be thrown too far, and then Lee Evans shifts gears.
I don't think you can overthrow this guy. Oh,
that's Sammy Knight. I mean, he knows. I mean, he's saying what's going on. That ball was going to be over his head, and Lee Evans pushed his foot to the floor and accelerated to catch that pass for the touchdown.
Lee Evans on the final play of the 3rd quarter in the end zone for the 2nd time today with his 5th touchdown catch of this his rookie season. The Bills come from behind. We'll return to Pro Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. The right arm of Drew Bledsoe was the difference in a 1-play, 69-yard drive. 1 throw, 1 catch by Lee Evans, and into the end zone he went. The Bills take the lead over the Dolphins 28-24. He having a career day. Lee Evans, you really got to compliment the guy that runs the Bills, the president, general manager, Tom Donahoe. There's a lot of criticism of some of his draft choices. Evans was drafted in the 1st round after he had a major knee injury at Wisconsin. And they criticized the drafting of McGahee with his knee problem, but these guys have turned into 2 tremendous players.
Yeah, it's starting to come to fruition, some of the plan that they had, and they drafted McGahee with a sight on 2 years down the road, and now that investment has come to fruition.
He didn't hit that ball as hard as he could. He lobs it into Welker. And he's to the 29-yard line. So now we'll see if the Dolphins and Feely can generate some big plays.
You see a moment ago, watch the safety in the corner jump Eric Moulds here, which leaves Lee Evans all by himself. And Sammy Knight has to come from the far side of the field to try and cover Lee Evans, and that's just too much ground to cover. Lee Evans all by himself. Sammy Knight had no chance to recover, and Eric Moulds, his presence in the double team, let Lee Evans run down the sideline by himself.
Bledsoe with a phenomenal second half, 6 of 7 for 118 yards and a touchdown. And here is the throw to Travis Minor, and he is upended after a gain of close to 7 yards. Kevin Thomas, 28, got him down. Looked like he might have tripped him to do it.
And now the Dolphins answer with their own form of no huddle, and for the same reasons, it'll get the Buffalo Bills out of some of those things they do in the second half that have caused them so much problem. It'll simplify the Bills' pass rush.
Here's Feely, a timing throw, gets it over the middle, and with the ball is Darius Thompson. A gain of 5 yards on the play. Fletcher taking a drop in coverage, makes the stop from middle linebacker.
Once again, the Dolphins, it's not a hurry up, it's a no huddle, but it does keep the Bills from changing personnel defensively.
First down to the run. And Travis Minor, you see him put the second arm on the ball after that earlier fumble to stop the drive. Stopped by Fletcher. They're coming with something deep here pretty soon, Steve.
Yeah, and it may work. I mean, these cornerbacks, you kind of get impatient at cornerback. You got to stay disciplined. They may jump a pump fake or something and get beat deep.
Over the middle throw, it's intercepted. A tip ball. Picked off on the play by Rashad Baker, the rookie. And he returns it all the way back inside the 35-yard line. Skipped off the hands of Travis Minor, and the rookie was there to grab it. The 5th Miami turnover. You got to be Superman to overcome that.
Every time the Dolphins start to do something positive, they turn the football over. And this is not A.J. Feely's fault. He throws this to the right guy, makes a good throw, and it just gets tipped up into the air. And it's going to go on his stat sheet, but it's not his fault. And the turnovers, Don, have become the story of the game for the Miami Dolphins.
What happens, son? You just threw another pick.
Yeah, he threw it where he thought it was going to be and didn't see the end of the play.
Handoff straight ahead. The Bills now will work the clock. We're in the fourth quarter. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker, Pro Player Stadium. Our producer-director team for CBS Sports, Ross Schneiderman and Kathy Barretto. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. In this wild game between arch rivals from the AFC East, the Bills and the Dolphins meeting for the 78th time. In the first quarter, there were 35 points scored, including 7 on the opening play of the game. Kickoff return.
And there's the story. The turnovers for Miami have been the difference.
On 2nd and 6, Bledsoe takes a look. He gets away, dumps it off, living dangerously as coverage was there. Hey, that 58, Eddie Moore of the Dolphins, he's in position every time.
Their linebacking core has played outstanding today. Eddie Moore, Derek Pope, along with Morlon Greenwood. I mean, these guys are all over the football field, and Bledsoe, even on his underneath routes, has not been able to find anybody. Just see here, this big pump fake here, it looked like he was going to throw it away there, and then does finally, and that's one of the things that has gotten Bledsoe into trouble. When he's done this and then tried to move out, bad things have happened.
He's been sacked 3 times today, 30 times for the season. But he has made some great throws today. There's another one. That's Moles. Only great. Is there anybody better? Eric Moles is phenomenal. 30 yards and a touchdown. Only great.
That's an Eric Moles touchdown. You never see Eric Moles catch a touchdown like Lee Evans did a moment ago. You see him catch it, shake 2 guys off, and drag them into the end zone. Watch here as he runs the crossing route. He's fearless going in. You can't drag him down by the shirt tail, and then you're not going to knock the ball away as he goes in. This guy is a physical receiver.
In his 9th year out of Mississippi State, he was drafted in the 1st round by the Bills when he came out. The extra point is hit up and good. Moles now. Nothing in the first half. Second half, 5 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. The great ones, sooner or later, make the big plays. And the Bills now back in command by 11, but a long way to go. A lot of time left.
The tourist cabin is.
Drew Bledsoe to Eric Moles. Bledsoe has now hit 18 of 28 throws for 267 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's not been intercepted. Lindell kicks off, and the very busy Wes Welker heads straight up the field. Lindell gets him out of bounds. Well, they busted open the wedge there, Steve.
Now, you've got a couple of Titanic special teams units going at it today. I mean, these two teams really play well. There's a flag down on this play.
Holding for 35 during the run back. 10 yards, first down.
But these are two heavyweight special teams units. You look back at the scoring play as Eric Moulds went in. I mean, you can describe this guy, Eric Moulds, in a lot of ways. I use 3 words. He doesn't flinch. Tough catch over the middle, drags a guy, busts in. No, he doesn't even look sideways going in the end zone. He knows the guy's coming over, and he spikes it and walks off the field. This guy's a beast, Don. I mean, this guy really plays hard, and there's the last 2 possessions for the Bills. Impressive.
A true beast, but you mean that in a good way.
I mean it in the nicest way.
There's another guy having a big day, Bledsoe. He certainly suffered the slings and arrows early in this season, but he's looking like good as he's ever been right now. Tremendous day for Bledsoe.
By KFC, there's a new way to please everyone in Chicken Capital USA. KFC's Variety Bucket. Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by A Diamond is Forever. This Christmas, give her a piece of eternity.
Back to Pro Player Stadium. Bledsoe with 4 touchdown throws today, but he's done that a lot in his career. That's the 11th 4-touchdown game for Drew Bledsoe passing. Most of them for the Patriots. He did have one in 2002, though. And that was against the Bears. Over the middle throw by Feely, who now pretty much, Steve, is forced to an all-out passing game. They're not going to run the ball down the field in Buffalo.
No, they're going to have to throw it.
Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Greg, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. The Bills at this point en route to their 5th win in the last 6 games, getting to 500. 3 of their 4 losses in that 0-4 start were by a total of 7 points. What might have been for this team if they've been able to pull out 1 or 2 of those games. Here is a throw to Chris Chambers, who's been quiet. A big play by Chambers. He's ahead for 11 yards.
I think the Dolphins are missing a little bit. I think they need to stay with the no huddle. They turned it over once in that form, but they had some success doing it. They moved the football, and it helped with their ability to handle the Bills defense. You hear Chambers coming across. Feely waits for him and then throws it out, and he pulls it in one-handed and turns it up. Great catch by that guy. I mean, you talk about the things you need to be a good team. They've got a lot of the ingredients offensively, do the Dolphins, and guys like Chambers and McMichael. And it's just unfortunate they've been put in the position that they have been.
And Chambers, of course, as you know, Steve, was a high school teammate of the Bills' terrific young receiver Lee Evans in Bedford, Ohio. And was the reason that Evans went, oh, here's almost another kick as Feely was sprinting back towards the goal line. He knew he was getting ready to play defense.
Yeah, he was 77 offense. 5 yards, but still first down.
Yeah, Feely was taking the tackle angle. He was going to run after the guy to make the the tackle after the interceptions after he released that one.
He served that one up inadvertently, almost a room service interception.
And it's a blitz. He has to throw it to get rid of it. He's going back to play safety. Says, trying to get somebody to make a block for him. But the Bills sent their blitz package, and there was nobody there.
He struggled with the interceptions. He's thrown 3 today. He has thrown 3 touchdowns. Here's slapped up as the Bills go after it again. Takeo Spikes comes after it. How about the high-scoring Colts and Peyton Manning? Let's go to New York and to Greg Gumbel.
Dan, they are ever higher scoring. Manning from 10 yards out to Reggie Wayne. That's 3 touchdown passes on the day for Peyton. 44 on the year. 48-24 Indianapolis. There's still 12:50 to play in the 4th, guys.
Chasing the record held by Dan Marino, the great Dolphin.
Dan, I think, is down to 2 fingers left on the ladder hanging on to that spot. He's going to be down to his fingernails pretty soon.
That's still a long time. He said it in 84.
He's a phenomenal player.
Here is Feely throwing, and he goes to the wrong side of his receiver. And right now, the Bills have Feely a little bit flummoxed out there. And he's not quite sure where to go.
Well, after halftime, the Bills have been very tough this season. And you look, since their 0-4 start, and they kind of got it together, their record's 5-2. They've only allowed 4 second-half touchdowns, 6.9 a game, and only 2.9 yards per play. This is a defense that in the second half of games has turned it on.
They have, Stephen. As you know, they've shown an ability to come from behind. There's Jerry Gray, the defensive coordinator. Bills came from behind twice to beat the St. Louis Rams. Today they were down 24-14 and have scored 21 unanswered points. Throw and a catch. Well done by the Dolphins. As Darius Thompson goes up on Jabari Greer and comes down with a 17-yard gain.
It was a great play by Feely, throwing it deep over the middle and coming down with a huge third down conversion. You watch, he looks to his right, then comes back and lets the ball go. And what a great catch. I mean, these guys are Thompson, Chambers, McMichael have all made sensational grabs to help A.J. Feely out any way they can. Just has been a little too late thus far.
But it really is not too late from a time standpoint. Still 11 minutes to play. Feely gets time. And Feely almost is picked again. Penalty marker is down.
2 in the second. 3.
And they're in the secondary.
3 of them in the secondary.
Bledsoe of the Bills has a quarterback rating today of 135 on 18 of 28.
Defense, 12 men on the field, 5 yards. Repeat first down.
That's a good trick if you can get away with it. 12 men on the field. You can do it in Canada.
Jerry Gray wondering but this is a guy that's, you know, made some good things. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And all 3, I must admit, all 3 officials in the backfield of the Bills called it. So they all counted the same.
And an interesting play call on 1st and 5. Here comes the heat. Feely goes long ball. Coverage is there. Very well defended by McGee and the Bills as they were going to Brian Gilmore. You remember that Brian was in the end zone earlier in the game in the first half. Tied the game with a touchdown catch at 7-all.
You wonder why a team kind of gets into a run defensively like the Bills have done in the second half of these games. And it kind of starts with Mike Mularkey, and I think the difference for Mike Mularkey has been his ability to put together a top coaching staff. He's got a renowned offensive line coach in Jim McNally, a great defensive coordinator in Jerry Gray, who was a holdover from the last staff, and they have really put it together.
Well, they have. Bills just shut people out in the third quarter from touchdowns. Here is a big Rob Conrad, the veteran from Syracuse. Stopped by Kevin Thomas as they stop him on a 2nd and 5 play. Bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and a little over 2 where it looks.
Rob Conrad getting a carry. I think now this is a guy who can carry the ball 30 times a game. Rob Conrad is big. I mean, this guy looks, I mean, he's intimidating when he's standing. I mean, we used to hang around big guys all the time. He's a big guy. He's a running back who is very intimidating.
6'3", 260 worth of big, and he can still haul it as Conrad takes it straight ahead and down to the 30. This one's a long way from over. Dolphins down by 11.
I give him the football. I mean, this guy can carry the load. He's got good instincts, and he may not beat anybody to the outside, but I'll tell you what, you see these guys jumping in on his legs. They want no part of tackling him above the waist because they'll turn into a hood ornament.
There are so many Syracuse standouts in the league that played for Paul Pasqualoni, and Conrad's one of them. Here is the Orland Greenwood's another outside backer for the Dolphins.
This is another thing. I mentioned this earlier.
So's Mare.
You get these guys in there and you have some things that work for you offensively. Offenses always get away from it. They think, well, it'll never work twice. Defenses will chew on a good defense like a dog with a bone. They'll never let up. Offenses, it's frustrating for me to watch them do some good things and then get away from that they've had success for. And I think the offense of the Dolphins here in the second half has had good luck running up inside. They need to stay with it.
Here's something long now. If he can get it away, he does, and overshoots everybody. Bills are getting more pressure with their front four, and they're mixing in some linebacker pressure. Big Pat Williams, he's had a good year, as has his counterpart next to him.
You watch here as you look down the field. Watch the coverage up here, 2 guys up here, and then the safety. There's just 4 defensive backs in the backfield, and they bring 6 guys back out of defensive end. Feely's looking around. Everybody's covered, and that's why he throws it away.
Third down and 8 coming up. Feely with a terrific throw. First down inside the 15-yard line as Marty Booker comes off the flank and catches it for 15 yards. Rookie Jabari Greer gets him down, but the Dolphins are knocking, and there's 8:43 to play.
Watch the protection. This is what they've had success with. Feely goes back and on time just gets rid of it. And his receivers have been winning, giving him some place to throw the football when he needs it. Excellent throw and catch. Marty Booker making the throw. Looked for a moment like he was going to score, but the great tackle there by the corner.
You see the third down count. He is 3 for 3. The Dolphins on this drive. On the right arm of Feely. Looking end zone. Ball's on the way, and it's underthrown. He was yelling at somebody.
That's a good. I mean,
What's
AJ
that all
Feely.
about?
Well, he wants his guys to do what he wants them to do. He's looking for them to do something. They're not giving it to him. I like a quarterback who's emotional like that. And AJ Feely is a guy who also point the finger at himself. His team really responds to that. But a quarterback has to be able to stand up there and say, you're not doing it right. Do it right. Yell and kind of crack the whip on his teammates to get them motivated. I like that in a quarterback, and AJ Feely does it.
Well, let's see what he does now on 2nd down and 10. A straight drop. Here comes the heat. Makes a throw and a connection. And down inside the 5-yard line are the Dolphins as Brian Gilmore makes the catch. It is 1st and goal, Miami.
You watch here as Feely steps up into the pocket, still not afraid. A guy who was hobbling around last week. Pump fake. The defender slides and falls down, makes a good catch. And that's a good play for Miami. You think, you just saw Feely clapping his hands, yelling at his players, exhorting him. You forget, these guys are in a ball game. It looked like they was out of hand a moment ago, but they are in this game, and they're going to try and win it. And Feely's job is to make them believe they can.
Well, they certainly got time to get it done. Over 7:20 to play in the game. Feely, timing throw, fade pattern, intercepted. Is they going to rule he's inbounds? If he got it, it's a touchback. The Bills might have had it. We're going to be looking at this again.
You saw the same thing.
He definitely came down with the ball. We'll see if he was in when he did it.
You saw the same thing I saw, Don. The ball was tipped by Thompson, trying to get it in, and it is. It's an interception and a touchback for the Bills.
And it's Terrence McGee, who they've been going at all day, who picks it off. So Feely intercepted yet again. That's his 4th pick of the day, and a terrific drive comes to a screeching halt. Bills take over. We're back, and the replay has been looked at, and there's a very good chance the interception will be overturned. That's the considered opinion, Steve, is it not?
Yeah, no question. Watch as Terrence McGee grabs and gathers in this interception. His foot's going to go right on the line, and that's going to be overturned. I don't think any question.
That's why they wear the white shoes. The better to.
Yeah. By the time he comes down with this, watch as his right foot, he's finally got it, and there his foot is out of bounds.
After reviewing the play, the defender is down 1 foot inbounds, and the 2nd foot hits the sideline. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It will be 2nd down and goal.
Hope is rising. The Dolphins live on this drive.
And they got it right. That was a good place for Jim Bates to throw the red flag. He did that, and they overturned it.
We're going to have some ending to this thing. 7:18 still to go.
I can't tell you, Don, in the time, you mentioned it, I played down in here for the Buffalo Bills for a number of years. We always respected this club and the organization, but I've had a newfound level of respect for the amount of work and the professionalism in the Dolphins organization. This is a no-give-up organization. They really bring it every week, and they're attacking on all fronts trying to get it turned around.
I mean, the hundreds and hundreds of man-hours of game planning on both sides. Minor takes it in.
And now the Dolphins come to within 5 points, and they'll go for 2 right here as the extra point.
They're going now
to close it to within 3 points and a field goal to tie.
They're going now.
And you'll watch, and this is what they've done at times in the 2nd half, right up inside. No question. Great work by the offensive line of the Dolphins once again up inside.
Travis Minor with his 2nd touchdown of the season. So the Dolphins are back in it, and they're looking to get within 3. The Bills had a 21-0 scoring advantage since they were down by 10 in the 1st half until that touchdown. Going for two. Feely with a straight drop. Here comes the blitz. The throw. And it is done perfectly. Chris Chambers on the receiving end. It is a 3-point game and a world of time left in this league. We could have 4 more touchdowns with 7:14 to play. 15-play, 76-yard drive. Minor on the 2-yard touchdown run. Chambers on the 2-point reception.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Wendy's Wild Mountain Chicken and Bacon Cheeseburger. It's better here. And by America Online. Want a better internet? You belong at America Online.
We're almost ready to start down the stretch run. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker in a most wild game. Momentous happenings, play after play. The first play of the game, the opening kickoff, was run back 104 yards by McGee of the Bills for a touchdown. Now the Dolphins have come back to within 3, and here's McGee. And he is brutally greeted at the 15-yard line. So the Bills protecting a 3-point lead. At one point in this game, they were down 24-14 to the Dolphins. Then came back and scored 21 straight points on some sensational passing by Drew Bledsoe, who's thrown for 4 touchdowns. He's thrown for 4 today. See, the Bills, they've had very tough losses this season, and these Dolphin fans are revved up.
The last drive by the Dolphins got this crowd into it. They are back in it. They were sitting down for a long time, but now they smell a victory on the horizon. Even though they trail by 3, they believe this team can win, and they have played well enough to win today.
First quarter saw touchdown after touchdown. It took an hour to play the first quarter. That's why this game is running so long. And here is McGahee, the great young player from Miami of Florida, breaks into the open field. And McGahee coming home. He played here in South Florida at Miami Central High School and for the Hurricanes. Madison gets him down, but that's a big gainer, a first down.
That's really the first time Willis McGahee has had a play that has gone for positive yards of that magnitude. He had a couple called back. He had a long screen pass called back, had a twisted ankle in the first half, got it taped up, and has tried to go, and that's really the first big success he's had.
That was a 20-yard success. He's got 75 yards rushing. The Bills are 5-0 when he rushes for 100, and all their wins, he's rushed for over 100 yards. McGahee again, a marker stop play. Was there a false start on the Bills? Pre-snap foul.
Start. 75 offense, 5 yards, still first down.
They got Jonas Jennings on a false start. That makes it 1st and 15.
These statistics you see as they thumb through, very close today. This game has been a battle from the word go, and as you said, Don, it has been end-to-end action starting from the first quarter. These two teams have hit for big plays and turnovers, but Miami turnovers have been the difference.
And Buffalo's had a lot of penalties. It's offset the Miami turnovers. Here is a pass to the rookie who has been in the end zone today. This is Tim Ewis, a former basketball player at Oregon State, and he makes a sideline catch, stopping the clock with 5:49 to play. Eddie Moore makes yet another tackle for the Dolphins.
Again, Ewis, they release into the flat and they forget about him. Somebody doesn't find him. They pay so much attention to Jason Taylor. They kind of figured that maybe the tight end's going to chip on him every time. That time he released freely and they got him the ball.
It's 2nd down and 5 for the Bills. McGahee, who finds a way, and he's in the open field. And McGahee is down to the 40-yard line. Taken down by cornerback Sam Madison. That was a 21-yard gain. McGahee's had 1 fumble today.
This is what Willis McGahee has brought to this offense, the ability late in games to get crucial runs when they've got to move the chains, trying to milk the clock, protect a lead, keep the ball in the Bills' hands. Willis McGahee has given them that ability.
He has that. Bledsoe's made some sensational throws. He has hit 19 of 29, 277 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's not been intercepted. On first down, they go to Joe Burns in to run and burn clock, and he's inside the 40. Taken down by the middle of the Dolphin defense. We're coming to you from Pro Player Stadium on a balmy day in South Florida. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker, two arch rivals from the AFC East, meeting for the 78th time. The Bills and the Dolphins. The Dolphins, a 2-9 team with an interim head coach and defensive coordinator Jim Bates, and every player to a man will tell you they're fighting their guts out to win the full-time job for Jim Bates, who took over when Dave Wanstead stepped down. There is Jim Bates. He was the defensive coordinator, and they played some terrific football. Other than the turnovers today, have the Dolphins. McGahee on 2nd down and 9. He lost a yard, taken down by Moreland Greenwood, the outside backer, 52.
And there you saw Moreland Greenwood making the play, but they sent everybody running straight for Willis McGahee. They had no intent of doing any pass coverage. They wanted to get into the Bills' backfield.
Bledsoe on 3rd and 10 stands in, and it's broken up. A penalty marker is down. Moles appears to have been fouled by a Dolphin defender. If that's the case, it'll be a first down for the Bills. Moles has been extraordinary in this game.
On the field, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
And they get a 5-yard penalty for too many men on the field. Moles thought he was interfered with, but the penalty is 12 men on the field. The Bills just had that.
Yeah.
And your defensive coordinator and the head coach, you'll watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this guy's trying to get off, and he just doesn't make it.
Get as many out there as you can get away with. Didn't get away with it. This brings up 3rd down and 5.
And the Bills are still now. They're going to take a timeout here with 10 seconds and counting. They needed to make a late substitution. They'll take a timeout and talk it over.
So the Bills, an unusual success story as the season wears on. They started the year 0-4 under new coach Mike Mularkey. That's Big Mike there with a baseball cap on. He's a former tight end at the University of Florida from Fort Lauderdale. He was the offensive coordinator of the Steelers. And Tom Donahoe, who runs the Bills, always liked him as a coach and gave him the shot as the head man. And everybody, he took a lot of shots when his team was 0-4. But now all of a sudden the Bills in the recent weeks have been playing like one of the best teams in the league. The 0-4 start was, well, there have been teams that have come back. The best 0-4 recoveries, the 92 Chargers, the 62 Bills with the Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica, quarterback. I guess Kemp was still a quarterback then, and then the Lions, and not many teams come back to do much after 0-4.
The Chargers actually made the playoffs that year. They did it, but Mike Mularkey kept a very even keel throughout the ordeal of that first month of the season. They lost their first 2 games, very close games, but he stayed the course, and it's paid off.
And in a game that's been full of big downs, here's one of the biggest, 3rd down and 5. Bledsoe stands in. He gets away somehow and throws, and the ball is dropped by Burns. The proverbial bad place. It hit him in the hands.
Interesting call here because Ryan Lindell hit a 57-yarder in warmups earlier today, and you'll watch as Bledsoe moves, and we said this earlier, bad things happen to Drew Bledsoe when he has to move out of the pocket. He's not as accurate. He makes a good throw here, and actually a very good throw, and Joe Burns just can't pull it in, and that would have been good for a first down.
And wisely, they're putting their punter out, who's as good as anybody around. Norman Lindell is 1 for 3 outside the 40 this year. He was hitting from long distance warming up. That's a whole lot different when 11 guys are coming at you.
This is the right play. This is the right play for the Bills to make. They got a 3-point lead and a great second half defense that just played very well.
And going this way, which the Dolphins will be doing left to right on your screen in the warm-ups, that their place kicker hit. I saw him hit from 57 yards. Olindo Mare.
Delay a game on offense. Penalty is declined.
Yeah, they wanted. He just wanted more field to work with, didn't he, to punt the ball?
Yeah, it makes it easier, and I think it gives you it's just easier punt to make. It gives you more room. It's harder to control the punt the shorter it is. Now he'll punt this, I think, as high as he possibly can. Make the returner make a decision. Handle it or let it bounce, and it's going to be a tough catch if he handles it.
Mormon, it's a high end over end kick. Wes Welker coming up on it, and the ball will be down. The Bills have had great special teams play all season. They call their special teams the special forces. So the turnovers have killed the Dolphins today, as they have all season. The Miami Dolphins have turned it over today 6 times. The Bills just once. And you see that run into the end zone by Big Pat Williams. There he is. They list him at 317. He used to be 317.
He was 317 in the 5th grade.
That's right. But it was like trying to tackle an 18-wheeler. We'll take a look back at that run. Feely wanted no part of hitting him. Here is the kickoff to Welker. They need a huge return, and they don't get it. Bills make the stop. Coming down to make the tackle was Jonathan Smith. Let's watch the pick and the run, team.
You wonder how Pat Williams ended up with it. He's right down inside. You see him right back here. Feely's trying to throw a dart over the middle and can't believe a defensive lineman plucks it 16 feet away. And watch, when you got 300+ pounds, you want no part of trying to get in front of that. Live to fight another day. Pat Williams had a head of steam going into the end zone.
Big fella from Texas A&M. Both these huge tackles are former Aggies, Sam Adams and Pat Williams. At first down, a long ball offense is all they got going now. And here is a long ball, and the receiver, he's intercepted again. McGee picks off Feely. And McGee's not done.
He's the kickoff returner as well.
He's the guy who ran back the opening kickoff, McGee, for 104 yards and a touchdown. And Feely, head bowed, comes off the field on a very tough day.
As we spoke about in the opening moments of the game, Don, if you're going to give the football away, you're going to give the game away. And now 15 of the last 16 meetings between these two clubs, the team that has taken it away more times than given it away has won.
Well, Steve, it's a long time.
Buffalo Bill, you were talking about the importance of this rivalry. Miami week, they call it, or Bills week.
It is important.
Which side you're on.
And even more so, even for these clubs. It used to be, you know, if it was for the division championship, obviously that's one thing. But you know what? The Dolphins are playing for their jobs, for their coach, for their pride, and basically for next season as well. The Buffalo Bills believe if they can win out, they've got a shot at making the playoffs after going 0-4. There's still a lot of baggage in this game that both these clubs were playing for.
Well, there's no question the Bills, they are really playing some terrific football. They've just blown out in the previous 2 weeks the 2 best teams in the NFC West, the Rams and then Seattle. And now the Bills get to 500. The Bills with that 0-4 start, and 3 of the 4 losses were by a total of 7 points.
As you look, this is this playoff picture. They still, Jacksonville was a team that beat the Buffalo Bills on opening day on the last play from scrimmage on a desperation throw to the back of the end zone. Denver seems to have maybe wobbled a little bit, but that's what the Bills are up against. And believe me, from the way this season started for the Buffalo Bills, they lose all the tiebreakers with most of the teams ahead of them. So that some of these teams are going to have to come back to the Bills for the Bills actually to get in, even if they do win the rest of their games.
And we're just getting word that the Ravens were beaten by the Bengals today, 27-21. Bills will go into that kneel down mode here pretty quickly. They're just going to pound the ball ahead. Here's McGahee in his wisdom staying in bounds, and he's taken down to the 47-yard line. Miami calls a timeout. Survivor Week kicks off with a bang. The winner of this challenge ends up in the Final Four, guaranteed, and sparks will fly at the Tribal Council. Don't miss a new Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central. And the season finale 1 week from today on CBS, America's most watched network. So the Bills and the Dolphins having at it for a 78th time, dating all the way back to when Miami came into the league in 1966 under Coach George Wilson. And then the great years under Don Shula. Last year, I tell you how tough it is to make the playoffs in the American Conference under Dave Wanstead. The Dolphins finished 10-6 and didn't go. There's going to be teams this year probably in the AFC 10-6 and won't make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a very distinct possibility.
The chance there's an 8-8 will get in from the NFC.
Yeah, and that's the disparity between the conferences this year.
Willis McGahee left the game earlier today. Everybody holds their breath after that devastating knee injury he had when he was hurt in the Orange Bowl game against Ohio State.
You see there the games that the Bills have, that's what they need to do. They got to run the table. Cleveland at Buffalo next week. Then they go to Cincinnati, to San Francisco, and if they win those first 3 games, there's a chance that that Pittsburgh game turns into a playoff game for the Buffalo Bills. If there's a chance that if they could win it, they may be able to get in it.
And of course, that's where Mularkey was last year as offensive coordinator in his first year as head coach of the Bills. You see the turnover count 7-1. The 85 Bears couldn't overcome something like that. Here is a punt hit up high in the air by Moorman. They're going to let it hop. It'll carry him inside the 20-yard line. Now takes a hop out. It'll be down to the 22-yard line with just 23 seconds left to play. Tuesday on NCIS, a serial killer is loose on the web. Now the Naval Criminal Investigative Service must send one of their own into his domain. Mark Harmon stars in a new episode of NCIS Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. Bills have a big following down here.
A lot of people came to the Sun of Florida to see the Buffalo Bills play, as is usually the case, particularly late in the season. It's a nice vacation spot and a reason to come down to South Florida to watch their favorite football team play their least favorite football team in Western New York.
Well, at kickoff time today, as you know, Steve, the wind chill in Western New York was in the 20s. It was a bit over 80 here. Here's a throw by Feely. He's going to keep pitching. He's got no alternative. Despite this horrendous day he's had getting picked off, he's thrown 5 picks. One of them run back by a 300 and who knows what defensive tackle, maybe 350.
And he also had a couple that were tipped, that were intercepted. But let's face it, in this today, he was forced. He had to drop back and throw it. There was no 2 ways about it.
Feely dropping back, takes a look, makes a throw and a connection, trying to get out of bounds is Travis Minor, who's in the end zone once today, so he allows another play, but there are no 10-point plays. Gives us a chance to tell you that the executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. Today's game was produced by Ross Schneiderman and directed by Kathy Barretto. The senior producer of CBS Sports, Eric Mann. The director of the NFL Today is Bob Matina. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Harold Bryant. The associate director of today's game is Sean Gerchikoff. The broadcast associate, Kimani Morales. Tech manager, Dean Walker. Tech director, Colby Bourgeois, a long ball downfield. And the audio supervisor is Pat Thornton, and we thank them all. The entire CBS contingent, the men and women of CBS Sports, is Bledsoe and Mularkey really starting to get in sync now. This offense up to speed.
Well, I was talking to the 3rd quarterback, Shane Matthews, on the sidelines today before the game, and he said this is a real close group. He was surprised by that. Even through the 0-4 start, they weathered it. The players seem to be coming together. The coaching staff seems to be coming together. Mike Mularkey's created a culture within the team that's conducive to guys playing hard. And Shane Matthews, who, let's face it, he's been around the block in the NFL. He's seen it all, and he's impressed with that.
Well, the Bills, as you know, Steve, have gone from a team that was going nowhere to a team that no one wants to play. If you got the Bills on your schedule the rest of the way, look out, because right now they're playing great football. They had their bad moments today. Great game plan by Miami. The Feely came out and was hitting him with big sideline passes and took a 10-point lead to the Dolphins, but the Bills rallied back. They've shown they can come from behind. They did it twice when they beat the Rams. They had a rally from 10 points down today. Miami with almost 400 yards total offense against the number 3 defense in the league, but the 7 turnovers are too much. And that is it. End of story. Maybe not the end of story. That'll do it now for Steve Tasker. This is Don Criqui saying so long from Pro Player Stadium, where the final score is the Bills 42, the Dolphins 32. We'll send to New York and Greg Gumbel for the Subway postgame show in a moment.